seconds or 60-second commercial breaks, and there should be a big block of commercials, and you can just play what you need. And if you run through them all, then just play them again. Yeah. If you need to. You can take the stop sign off if you need to make it a 1-minute break. Yeah. And if you use all of those in the first half, then you can play them again. Any of them that you don't use in the first half, we can use them in the second half. And then there should be a chunk that says halftime spots.
with the wind 8 miles an hour coming out of the southwest, and there's no chance of rain. Let's meet the starting lineup for the visiting team tonight, the Roseburg Indians.
Hello and good evening, everybody. Welcome to Beaverton, Oregon and Mountainside High School as we get ready to kick off the 2022 high school football season for the Roseburg Indians and the Mountainside Mavericks. This is your Roseburg Disposal pregame show. You can let them make the run to the dump for you. Give them a call at 673-7122. Joey Keyran here with you. Alongside me in the booth tonight, Josh Nelson back with me, as well as help tonight from Matt Bagley in the booth as we get ready for high school football. We are counting down to kickoff. We are about 15 minutes away. Hope you've enjoyed our extra programming we've got this season. The Friday night pregame show kicking things off at 6 o'clock with a lot of fun conversations around high school football on a Friday night. Great to hear Carter's Corner earlier this evening with Carter Stedman, a Roseburg High School senior who's interning with us this fall. He had a great conversation with Jace Johnson from South Umpqua High School to find out more about the Lancers and their season kicking off here tonight. They are actually switching up things and playing at home this evening as they got smoked out down in Phoenix and had to change the site of that playoff game, or not a playoff game, a kickoff game to the season. But we are kicking off things here in Beaverton. No worries about the smoke. In fact, see blue sky overhead. The sun starting to set to our left out in the West Hills here in Beaverton. This is a fairly new high school built back in 2017, and let me tell you, it is gorgeous. Great facilities here for all sports as well as the academic side. That looks like a small college campus over there here at Mountainside High School. The program, much like the campus, has had a lot of success as well. Under head coach John Mannion, they enter their 5th season, and they have seen 2 playoff runs deep into the postseason, and they've got an overall winning record in the history of the program. We'll see if Roseburg can build off of last season's success as they kick off this 2022 year, but they'll have to do it with a lot of new pieces as they graduated a significant senior class from last year. We got a conversation coming up with head coach Dave Heiberger, but before we take that first break here in the postgame show, let's welcome into the booth our other members here tonight for a quick thought on what's coming up. Josh Nelson back with me for at least week 1. We'll see what goes on from there. Josh, welcome back into the booth. It's great to have you, and looking forward to kicking off another high school football season with you here with me tonight.
It is amazing to be back. Week 1. It's a perfect night, too. It is not hot. Last year it was hot. It was smoky. It was miserable. It is really not that bad out here. It's about, what, low 80s right now?
Yeah, probably.
It's blowing. It's going to be a great night to start off Friday Night Lights here in the beautiful state of Oregon. Glad to be back. Glad to see if Roseburg can build on last year's accomplishments. I did pay attention last year, even though I was not here. Roseburg had an amazing season last year, hoping that we start that way this year.
Yeah, hoping to get things started on the right foot. The third man joining us tonight, you'll hear from him periodically. He's helping run the camera for us here this evening. You've probably heard him back on our old program Off the Wall, talking Medford sports with us, maybe mixing in a little Raider football as well. Matt Bagley joining us here tonight. And Matt, it's great to have you with us, hanging out and doing some high school football. We are all kind of sports junkies. We're all football junkies, and we all love high school football here in the state of Oregon, so it's great to have you with us, and I know you're excited about kicking off another high school football season.
I'm really excited. Oh, there we go. I'm excited to have the mute button turned off here on this mixer, but I'm really excited to see a Roseburg team tonight, Joey. I fervently believe, growing up in Southern Oregon, covering high school football in Southern Oregon for as long as I have, 9 years now, there's one truth about Roseburg as a community and as a culture. They love high school football. Roseburg loves high school football. Roseburg cares about high school football. And last year, finally, for the first time since Thurman Bell retired, the legend stepped down. Dave Heiberger took over. Finally, you had a team that was worthy of all that love. and they came so close. Gosh darn, that game against Sheldon at the end of the season was a thriller. I was on the edge of my seat watching your stream of it, and I can't wait to see what these boys do to follow up on that performance they had all season long. Can't wait to see that unfold tonight.
We are just about 10 minutes away from seeing it. We're going to go ahead and take a 2-minute break. When we come back, we'll hear from head coach Dave Heiberger about what to expect out there on the field tonight. This is the Roseburg Disposal pregame show, counting down to the kickoff of Roseburg football. Streaming live online at 541radio.com. You can watch the video stream like Matt was talking about. It's sponsored by the Cow Creek Tribe. And you can also tune in and catch us right here on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Deciding where to purchase your next vehicle is just as important as the vehicle itself. At Roseburg Honda, our seasoned staff is dedicated to matching you with the right car. From sales to service, our goal is to make sure all of your needs are met, and you leave our dealership feeling good every time you visit. No need to waste your valuable time driving up and down the freeway when the ultimate car buying experience is right here at home. Roseburg Honda. We treat you like family.
Back here with more of our Roseburg Disposal pregame show up in Beaverton at Mountainside High School as we get ready to kick off the 2022 season. And joining us now is head coach of the Roseburg Indians, Dave Heiberger. Coach, we've talked about you guys building off of the success. And just said that really, obviously, you'd like to build off of the success from that, but you guys are not using that as a kind of starting spot for this team. This team is its own thing, and you guys are trying to move forward with it. Where do you think these guys are mindset-wise heading into a season this year?
Mindset with them, I know they want to be successful, and I know that they know, how to play full-speed football. They're just a quiet group. It's a different group personality than I've ever had. A lot of the older guys that are in leadership roles are O-line, D-linemen that are generally a little softer spoken, and so getting to kind of figure them out and do all that, and a 4-hour bus trip up here and in yellow buses with no AC, I think they bonded a little bit.
Well, you guys get a long road trip to start it out this year. That's nothing new for you guys, but as you've been working through the last 2 weeks of training camp and getting ready, getting pads on, seeing these guys work through the playbook, what kind of things have stood out to you about this team as you get ready for week one?
Their attention to detail. They're focused at practice. When you're talking to them, their eyes are on the coach. The maturity of the group, is pretty good too. And so, I think tonight we got 6 sophomores starting, so we're going to see how those guys blend in, get their feet wet, and just, like I said, putting that puzzle, trying to put that puzzle together. And we're going to learn a lot about who we are tonight, but also this is the type of game we need to get in for for our program to continue to build off of. We need to schedule metro area schools that, they were in the semifinals a couple of years ago. We need to get those guys on our schedule and start scheduling more of those teams.
you talk about some of the youth that you guys have this year's team, and maybe it's a little too early to know, and like you said, you're going to find out a lot, but have you seen wide-eye moments from these guys, or do they kind of feel like they're, accepting of the moment and ready for it?
Yeah, that's $1 million question.
It's one you'll find out tonight,
It's one we're asking right now, but they wouldn't be out there if we didn't have confidence in them. They have athletic ability. Freshmen get varsity coaching the day they step on our campus, so it's not like we just grabbed them and said, hey, we're going to coach you now. And so we're pretty excited about seeing their skill set and seeing what they can do.
Tonight, Mountainside, you get to square off with an old foe in John Mannion, a guy that you found you were able to face off against when you were at Springfield in the 5A classification. Obviously, it's a completely different setting and situation, but going against this Mountainside team, what are you expecting from them when you guys step out there tonight?
They're going to hustle, they're going to play hard, they're going to be scrappy, and they're going to be well disciplined, and they're going to run the ball at us a little bit. They got some size out there as well, and I think I read something the other, maybe it was what you wrote, we kind of, our strengths kind of equal each other at this point. They're breaking in, I think, a senior quarterback, ours is a sophomore, but both have some unknowns going into it, but when we looked back at last year's film and pull up Summit week 1, I mean, Silas is at center still, and we're looking at, Coleman wasn't even on the O-line, and so you look at all the changes, and you look at, some of the players like, is he good enough to play there? And then you start thinking about guys that played there in the past. You're like, that kid's gonna be fine. And so they're gonna be fine. They're just gonna get broke in tonight up here at Mountainside against a quality 6A opponent.
All right, Coach. Best of luck to you guys out there tonight.
All right, thank you.
That is head coach Dave Heiberger of the Roseburg Indians. We'll take a 2-minute break, come back with the final segment of our Roseburg Disposal pregame show here on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
For over 100 years, Douglas County Farmers Co-op has been serving the needs of farmers, ranchers, and homeowners throughout Southern Oregon. Here, everyone is welcome. When you shop with us, you can expect good people, good products, and good advice. No membership needed. Just bring yourself, and we'll provide the expertise and products you need to tackle your next project. Douglas County Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop.
Remember the good old days? When you didn't have to make an appointment or wait in line for an hour just to talk to your teller. When businesses were local and gave back to the community. At Cascade Community Credit Union, there are some things will never change. We're the only credit union or bank headquartered in Douglas County, and making our members a priority has always been our priority. For easy and simplified banking, visit CCCU. No appointment, just come on in.
We are back here at Mountainside High School in Beaverton. The coin toss is happening. They have wrapped it up. It will be Mountainside that has won the toss, and they will receive. We'll have the opening kick when we come back after this 2-minute timeout. This has been the Roseburg Disposal pregame show on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Mountain Mike's, pizza the way it ought to be.
Working from a hot tin shed, Paul W. Klipsch, genius and maverick, designed and hand-built his first commercial loudspeaker with the intention of bringing live music right into your living room. Today, we still make them like we used to. By hand, with passion, with pride. Klipsch Heritage Loudspeakers.
Give Klipsch Heritage speakers a listen at Good Vibrations. Top of the Hill, Northeast Stevens in Roseburg.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
Brook Communications radio stations have joined forces with the News Review and Lotus Web Services, announcing the Lotus Media Group, a multimedia enterprise. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen with Lotus Media Group, LLC.
Roseburg return man is Caden Neckel. He takes the football at about the 17-yard line, weaves his way out to the 26. I guess I was mistaken. It looks like Mountainside must have deferred to the second half to receive then. Roseburg gets the ball to start, and they'll have the ball at their own 26-yard line. And Roseburg's offense will take the field for the first time. That means we get to see for the first time sophomore Owen Bentia behind center. He is taking over for Colton Marsters, who was the Southwest Conference Offensive Player of the Year last year. He'll be in shotgun with Eckel to his left. We'll take a look through your starting lineups here as we get going. Bentia with 3 targets to his left, ball near the right hash mark. Turns, hands it off to Eckel, running right side. He is swallowed up at the line of scrimmage, nowhere to go. And it looked like big Kevin Cassidy, a senior at 6'6", 285 pounds, comes up and makes the stop in the middle. Well, looking along the front line, Kyler Mills, Tiger Black, James Coleman, Daniel Thomas, and A.J. Baker, 3 all-conference selections, Black, Coleman, and Thomas. Eckel, a first-team all-conference running back last year. Then we expect to see White, Luther, Loomis, and Wilder in the wide receiving core. A handoff, Eckel, weaving left side this time, finds room near the first down marker, will stretch it out to the 38-yard line, make it the 37-yard line is where they put him down, and it's going to be good for a first down on the second run of the game. A pickup of 9 on that one for Eckel.
Really looking forward to watching Eckel play this ball game tonight. Watching it first game of the season, he was real wiry. Really excited to see what he can do this year.
So he picks up about 10 on that one. They hand it off to him on a delayed handoff this time, trying to run left side over Black and Mills, an experienced left side of the line, out to the 38. A short gain on that one, and it's been all Caden Eckel so far. And teams are going to look for him. He knew that, and he said in interviews I had with him here in training camp and leading into tonight, he wants to thrive on that, and he knows that it's going to help other teammates as well.
And it really helps when his offensive line, like the play before, was able to open up that big hole for him to get down the field.
Looking to pass for the first time. Bentia's going to take off and run up the middle. He almost loses the football, now gets taken down. He'll hang on to it. That first contact, and it was kind of a hold-your-breath moment for the sophomore. Owen Bentia dropping back to pass. Didn't see anything, and he takes off and gets to the 44.
It almost looked like that play there was designed for the quarterback. It was like a hesitation and then a takeoff and run.
It'll be third down and 3. High snap, looking to run, this time designed for Bentia across the 45, stretches to the marker. Will he have it on the near side? I think they may say he does. It's right at about the 47, and it is right at the line. And they're going to signal fourth down. This looks like it could almost be close enough to measure.
It looks like they moved it back a yard from where the line judge was on the far side of the field.
So the ball's at the 47, a gain of 3 on the ground for Bentia. Roseburg lines up like they're going to go for it. Bentia in shotgun, big first moment for the sophomore starter. And Roseburg looking to the sideline, letting the clock wear down here. Everybody will check their wristbands. Wilder alone to the left, 3 targets to the right side of the field. Handed off, Eckel running left side, spins. His second effort might buy him the first down as he gets across the 47 to the 48. Move the chains on a 4th down conversion.
And that's a very good play by Roseburg and by Eckel to keep his feet moving as he got that first contact there to be able to get that extra yard for that first down.
So that'll be 1st and 10 out to the Roseburg 48, and on the first snap of this series, nowhere going. Right back to the line of scrimmage for Roseburg, and it'll be 2nd down and 10.
And I really like what Coach Heiberger is doing right now. You run the ball. It's going to open up that passing game here later on tonight.
So no gain on first down. 2nd and 10, trips to the left side, 1 target to the wide side of the field, the right side. Looking to his left is Bentia, rolls out, eludes the defense, has some time to throw downfield, some pressure, but the throw is too high, intended for Jace Wilder. It'll be 3rd down and 10 on the first pass attempt of the night for Roseburg.
And it kind of looked like Bentia there was a little bit hesitant, kind of rushed that throw. He had a second to plant his feet and throw that ball. He didn't plant his feet, a little bit wobbly, kind of high there, like you said, and incomplete.
Wilder will be spread out to the left side. On the right side of the formation, you've got White, Loomis, and Luther out there on the wide side of the field. High snap, dropping back, looking to set up the screen. That ball's tipped up, tip drill, and it's intercepted. The takeaway will give Mountainside possession in Roseburg territory at the 43, and there's the first turnover of the season for the Tribe.
Hey, the defense for Mountainside did a great job there on that screen. They did exactly what you're supposed to do. They saw the screen coming. They rushed the ball. They kind of stopped just a little bit, not to chase the quarterback too far, and that defensive end stayed back, so if it did get tipped, he would be able to intercept that ball.
And I'm always an optimist, guys, but I think your blocking is going to be cleaner in the screen game as the season goes on.
So that turnover will set up Alex Ingalls, the senior QB, as his first pass is tipped. It was James Coleman to get in defensively. Alex Ingalls is the starting quarterback. He's a senior. Spent last season, they called it a redshirt year for him, as he was the backup to Brian Mannion, a 3-year starter for this Mountainside team. Ingalls gets his chance now as a senior. He is I got him as a junior. I'm pretty sure he's a senior. We'll double check on that for you. But he will set up in the backfield with Aaron Simpson. No, he is a junior, I believe. Throw out to the far side of the field. Tackle made in on the play. That goes to O'Connor. And there's no gain on the completion to Quinn O'Connor. And it's now 3rd down and 10. The offense going nowhere for Mountainside. So it's Alex Ingalls. He is a junior. I think Coach Heiberger might have called him a senior, and so that's what might have screwed me up there. Not to blame Heiberger. He's going to hear this later, and now he's going to call me out next time I talk to him. Aaron Simpson in the backfield, a senior running back, part of a committee last year. He gets a chance to be the main back this year. He sets up deep as they go under center, tossing to the near side, lofted out there, and it's through the hands of O'Connor, and Quinn O'Connor was wide open. It would have been short of the first down, and after the interception, Mountainside cannot capitalize on the goodwill early in this ball game.
Well, and that's really what some of the keys of the game are for this Roseburg team is you got to stop the run, you got to limit the turnovers, and then you got to win the time of possession tonight.
So it might just be a quick 3 and out here after the interception by Mountainside. They set up in a punt formation. Return man back at the 10 for Roseburg. The kick is up. And wait for the fair catch. That one bounces at the 10 and will stay in bounds, rolls back out towards the 15, will be down at the 14. And so the punt by Mountainside will back up Roseburg deep in their own territory, but they get the ball back and they hold the Mountainside offense off the board. 7:38 to go first quarter here on the score.
There's a flag on the play.
Well, there is.
Sideline warning against Roseburg.
So it is a warning, it looks like. No penalty yardage assessed. So nothing really doing for the Mountainside offense, and hey, it's still early, right? It's still early in the season. These teams are still figuring things out, and now Roseburg's offense will get a second chance. Maybe those first game jitters for Owen Bentia, the sophomore quarterback, maybe they start to fade a little bit as he leads the offense back out there.
Well, and both teams are just trying to get a feel for each other. In first quarter, you've never played each other. You've got to get a feel for each other, figure out what you're going to do.
Bentia will set up in shotgun. Eckel to his right. 2 targets either side. Ball on the right hash mark. Penalty flag out. They hand it off to Eckel. He sideswipes a defender, steps around him out to the past the 15 to I think about the 17, but the penalty flag's bringing this one back.
Yeah, it's going to be an offsides on the defense because they didn't stop the ball. If it was a false start, it would have stopped the ball. They're going to call it a false start on Roseburg.
Which might have been. They didn't really mark where the ball was at the end of the run, so maybe they were trying to blow it dead, just didn't get it stopped in time before Roseburg got the play in motion. So a penalty on Roseburg. That backs them up. Ball is at their own 9-yard line now. Hand off to Eckel, running left side, gets a defender on him right away, dragging him down. That is a number I didn't have in the starting lineup. That is Jonathan Berrien that steps in to make the tackle along that front line. It was a gain of 1 out to the 15-yard line, out to the 10-yard line.
And James Coleman's doing a great job at opening up a big hole for Eckel. He's done it twice now.
Trying to get things open there and let him slip through. Fake the handoff. Bentia's going to run it, but there's nowhere to go. And trapped in the backfield. Coming up this time, it is Kevin Cassidy. He's a big boy, 6'6", 285, and he's making his presence known early. A tackle for loss there.
He definitely is, and right now it seems like that defense for Mountainside is getting off the ball a little bit quicker than the offense can actually even get their hands up on the defensive line.
First quarter action, 6:30 to go. Scoreless ball game. Roseburg trapped deep in their own territory at their own 9-yard line, facing 3rd down and 15. Bentia in shotgun, looking to pass, looking to his left, has some time, defense in his face, he gets tackled back into the end zone, and they'll give him forward progress to the 1-yard line as Roseburg gives up the sack, and back to the 1, they'll be forced to punt from their own end zone.
Yeah, and that's not a good situation to put yourself into. You don't want to run backwards at all if you're the quarterback, especially on that 3rd and 1 from or 3rd and 15 from the 5. You've got to make sure you come forward or at least don't lose any yards because this snap is critical.
They get lucky to not give up the safety there. Tiger Black is your punter. His heels just in front of the end line at the back of the end zone. Waiting for the snap from Coleman. Tiger will get away a decent boot. It's going to be out towards the 30. Hops a couple of times and goes out of bounds. They'll mark it right at the 30-yard line. So a decent punt from deep in their own territory, but Roseburg's offense stalls as both teams trying to figure things out here in the early going. Tonight's game, sponsored by Cascade Community Credit Union, belong to Douglas County. And by Good Vibration, solutions for home theater and automotive audio. You can feel it at Good Vibes. All right, second time we see Mountainside here. Josh, thoughts on what we see from them the second go-around? It was all passing pretty much in the first go.
Yeah, I think that they need to open up that run game a little bit, start with that, and see if they can wear this defense down a little bit more.
They start at the Roseburg 30 and hand it off to Simpson, who runs left side. He will get positive yardage, first positive yardage for the Mavericks. Takes them down to the 28-yard line, a pickup of 2 for Simpson. The front line saw, I had to write it down here, and which one did I? Saul Sapaio on that front line. Drew McCarty, Reed Gerber, Jackson Stiles, and Kevin Cassidy. Handed off to Simpson again. He's going to try and stretch it right side, outside the hash. Gets to the 25 and leans forward as he is taken down. It's Tyler Reitman that comes up and helps make the stop, and it'll be 3rd down and short for the Mavericks.
And that is good stretch play by Mountainside there. The left tackle was able to come outside and conceal that defensive end for Roseburg and just give them just enough room to pick up a couple yards.
It's pickup of 4 to be official. 4:28 to go, still scoreless here. Nearing the red zone for the first time this season are the Mavericks. The center, Gerber, Sets up on the right hash mark. Man in motion, right to left. Fake the handoff to the motion man. Give it to the back. It's Simpson. He goes right, cuts back to the left hash mark. He's at the line to gain. And on that right hash mark, I think the extra motion there from Simpson will buy him the first down. He does get to the line just barely. And it's down to the 20, into the red zone for the Mavericks. And they have their first down. And it's been all Aaron Simpson, the senior back, 5'10", 160 pounds. Shifty guy there on that last run.
Very shifty there, and they're doing exactly kind of what I said, is try to establish that run game and then work on that pass game. It always works better to work on your pass game if you can establish the run first.
1st and 10 from the 20. Under center. They'll pitch it right side, a cut back inside, and back to the line of scrimmage, losing half a yard. Running this time. New man in the backfield, that'll be Ian Salbeda. That is the runner.
And James Coleman came up with the tackle on that, and it just came out of nowhere. Kind of big bear hug, jumped on him to bring him down.
So tackle for loss for Coleman on that one. Salbeda goes down. It'll be 2nd down and 11 if it stands, but the officials are conversing. Did you see a penalty flag?
There's a flag right there on the 28-yard line, just on the Roseburg side.
Looking to the white cap here. Oh, yeah, it's back all the way on the far side in front of Coach Heiberg over there talking now with the officials. This is a game we need to have him mic'd up.
I don't think he would appreciate that very much.
If you didn't know, we are streaming live online at 541radio.com. You can also check it out on our YouTube channel. Search 1490 The Score on YouTube to watch Roseburg High football throughout the season. Here from Mountainside High School, the live video stream is presented by the Cow Creek Tribe.
So it's another sideline violation by Roseburg.
And this time it counts. He signaled towards Mountainside, but I think the official's going to redo it here. He signaled as if it would have been against Mountainside, which is...
Yeah,
Coach Heiberger's got his hands up in the air.
And the side judge out there is pointing the other direction, and he's walking the other direction.
Now they're going to walk it off. So it looks like it's a dead ball foul, so it's going to come after the play. So they counted off from where the play ended. It was a loss of 1 yard to the 21, and then the penalty yardage, 5 yards added on. Second penalty on Roseburg tonight, and this time it cost them 5 yards in favor of Mountainside.
And Heiberger looked like he was making the case that he's allowed to be in front of that line, and he's not standing on the white at all, but for some reason that side judge keeps running into him.
And timeout's going to be called by Roseburg, so we'll go ahead and take one as well. Let's get in a 30-second timeout. It's a scoreless ball game, season opener. Roseburg and Mountainside, 3:16 to go first quarter. This is Roseburg football on 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Tonight's Roseburg football game is sponsored by DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop. Also want to say thanks to Abby's Legendary Pizza. It's a legendary pizza tradition. Matt, you grew up in Southern Oregon. A lot of Abby's Pizza back in the day?
A ton of Abby's Pizza. You know, just what I love, obviously that pepperoni slice is unbeatable, but the fried chicken and the spuds.
Yeah, that's always a good tradition as well.
It looks like Coach Heiberger called that timeout just to be able to talk to the official again. The entire time he was over there with 3 officials around him and the white hat arguing his case once more.
Had to find out exactly where he can and can't be. 2nd down and 6 for Mountainside. Handed off once again. It's Albeda. Goes left, cuts back right. Nobody's there. Touchdown, Mountainside. And the Mavericks will make it into the end zone first. It's a TD run This one comes from 16 yards out, and it's Ian Salbeda with the score. 6-0, an early lead for the Mavericks here, pending the extra point.
Josh, you were talking about how Mountainside needed to establish the run. I think it's obvious they did it on that scoring drive.
That they did. Everything a run with the TD run from 16 yards out. Now the extra point. The holder will put it down. The kick is up and through with the extra point. That is Holden Phillips. And it is a 7-0 lead. Mavericks in front. We'll take another 60-second timeout as Roseburg is down 7-0 in the season opener against the Mavericks. 3:09 to play in the first quarter. This is Roseburg football on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
For over 100 years, Douglas County Farmers Co-op has been serving the needs of farmers, ranchers, and homeowners throughout Southern Oregon. Here, everyone is welcome. When you shop with us, you can expect good people, good products, and good advice. No membership needed. Just bring yourself, and we'll provide the expertise and products you need to tackle your next project. Douglas County Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop.
So Ian Salbeda will be the first scorer of 2022 for the Mountainside Mavericks, and Roseburg trails 7-0 with 3:09 to go as the kickoff goes into the end zone by Holden Phillips. And so Roseburg will have the football out at their own 20-yard line. Well, we saw the run game work there. It was some misdirection. Salbeda goes left, found the cutback lane. That usually means the backside of the defense over-pursued.
Well, it really looked like, actually, that he was going to go in the middle, and they sat there and all bunched into the middle, and then he cut it back right. I think it was a broken play. He was supposed to go as a draw, ended up swinging it outside.
5 plays, 30 yards, and it takes 2:21 off the clock. Make that 2:23 off the clock for Mountainside. They lead 7-0. Bentia in pistol with the ball in the middle of the field at the 20 for Roseburg. Eckel is the deep man. 2 targets either side. They'll move White left to right. Fake the handoff. I don't think it was intended to be a fake for Bentia. Nobody was there to receive it, so he takes off running himself. Makes something out of nothing as he gets the ball close to the 25-yard line.
Yeah, I've said it so many times when I'm helping you out doing this that if you can pick up 3 or 4 yards every single run, you're doing pretty good.
That gets Bentia back into positive numbers after the sack on the last drive. He'll try to run here, but they close on the end quickly, and the defense gets into the backfield. We thought that this Roseburg front line would be a strength, and right now they've let the front line from Mountainside, which is also a strength, into the backfield. James Richardson, the senior D end, getting back there for the sack.
It seems like the last 2 plays there's been a little bit of confusion, and as Coach said, the vocal leadership on the field, it's been a little bit quieter this year.
Looking to pass, they'll go into the flats. The Wilder, he's going to throw downfield. He's got White open, but he overthrows him. And Jace Wilder, I think, knew the defense was going to be on him quickly, so he launches that up just immediately. Didn't get to put the touch on it, and it's incomplete on a trick play for Roseburg.
Oh, he got leveled right as he threw that ball up. If he had a second longer, I think that's a completion.
Yeah, Jordan White, the senior wide receiver, was wide open downfield. Brings back out Tiger Black to punt. Not too much time worn off the clock. Less than a minute. 2:11 to go here in the first quarter. Roseburg trailing, but trying to get Mountainside on the other half of the 50 for the first time here in the first quarter. Tiger gets a boot behind it. Nice spiral. That one's going to take off. It's over the head of the return man, Simpson. He's going to try and track it down. He'll pick it up late, gets a block. He's got the sideline, cuts back to the middle, still on his feet, races to the far side. He's on a foot race to the edge, to the 40, and he gets taken down across the 40-yard line. There is a penalty flag out in the middle, right at the nose of the Maverick logo at the 41-yard line. That ball returned from about the 29-yard line out to the 44-yard line, but we'll wait on the penalty.
And it's going to probably be a block in the back by Mountainside is my guess. Normally you don't see a penalty unless it's something like that. And that's exactly what it is. So that ball is going to end up going back.
So the block will be spotted at the 42. So they'll count it off from there. And that'll put the Mavericks back to their own 32-yard line. First penalty of the night for Mountainside. But they've got the ball back, leading 7-0 here in the first quarter with 1:52 to play. Today's ball game sponsored by Fisher's Hearth and Home, serving Douglas County for over 30 years with the largest selection of wood, gas, pellet, and electric stoves and fireplaces in the area. Third drive of the night for the Mavericks. Low snap, picked up. They go the underhand toss to the man in motion across the formation, coming to the near side. A short pickup on that fly sweep. It's Madden Tanuvasa. Get that one right there. He'll pick up a couple of yards. Now, you guys, I've always thought underhand pitch forward, that's a forward pass, right? That's passing yards, not rushing yards.
Yes, it would be a pass. Anything that you toss up that's forward of the line of scrimmage is a pass.
So it's a 2-yard completion, first of the night for Ingalls. He'll set up in shotgun, looking to pass on the slant route, over the middle, tipped. There in coverage is Brody Robinson in the area. Didn't have his head up looking for a tip drill, but that's off the hands of Samuel Pimentel. Incomplete, and it's 3rd down and 8.
And a great job by the Roseburg defenders on pulling that zone coverage out. They had 3 guys right there ready to hit him if he did catch that ball.
So it's now 3rd down and long. We've seen one drive where there's been positive momentum for Mountainside. They scored a 16-yard touchdown drive. Other than that, Roseburg's been able to hold them in check. They look to get off the field here on 3rd down and long. Pass into the flats. It goes into the hands of Simpson. He's got blockers, but defense closes. They'll get him before he gets to the line to gain, and he'll be short by a lot. He gets to the 36, 37. The penalty flag's out way late, and only white jerseys around the officials. But we'll see here. I saw a Roseburg guy clapping his hands. That's Boston Williams, a senior. The ball is out to the 37. We'll see if it stays there.
I think it's going to be against Roseburg. Yeah,
the officials are talking here, and actually it's Mountainside that's moving back. It's 4th down. And it's a personal foul. They'll walk it off from the spot of the foul. So
it was a dead ball too, so it stays 4th down.
So they'll get credit out to the 34-yard line, which would make it a gain of none on the pass play.
And those are the kind of plays where, as a coach, are you mad at your team? Sure, there's a lack of composure there. But it's the opening week of the season. I think you got to get those jitters out. I'm okay with that.
Well, they will have to punt it away now from their own 22. I mean, it seems like decisions happening here, but it's going to be Mountainside with a timeout. So we'll go ahead and take one real quick, and we'll get the thought from you when we come back after a 30-second timeout. 59 seconds to go in the first quarter. This is Roseburg football, streaming at 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Remember the good old days? When you didn't have to make an appointment or wait in line for an hour just to talk to your teller? When businesses were local and gave back to the community? At Cascade Community Credit Union, there are some things will never change. We're the only credit union or bank headquartered in Douglas County, and making our members a priority has always been our priority. For easy and simplified banking, visit CCCU. No appointment, just come on in.
Out of the timeout by Mountainside. Josh, you were having some thoughts right before we went to the break.
I'm going to tell you what, number 58 for Roseburg, Coleman, he is doing a spectacular job tonight. I mean, he is in the backfield almost every single play. That last one, he's back there. They're going to have to run the ball the opposite side of the field to keep Coleman out of it.
The problem is that's Tiger Black on the other side. A punt, not a great one, wobbly, gets to the 45, other half of the 50, and it's unfortunately, Caden Eckel was expecting a punt a little bit deeper, so he was trying to run up on that ball, didn't get a chance to field it. It'll take a Mountainside roll, and Roseburg will have it at their own 34-yard line. But the defense comes up with the stop, forces the punt. That is our 4th punt here in the first quarter. Roseburg gets it back for their 4th possession.
Yeah, second stop by that defense for Roseburg. They've got to make something out of out of this drive here. You can't just rely on your defense the whole time to continue to get those stops. You've got to produce on offense too. Give a little bit of break to that defense.
First down and 10 from the Roseburg 34. They set up on the left hash mark. Bentia in shotgun. Calls for it. Gives it to Eckel running right side. Tries to follow the big bodies up there. He'll tuck his head down. Secures the football. Backs his way for a couple of yards out to the 36-yard line. A pickup of 2. Down to 28 seconds to go in the first quarter. Going to probably wrap it up. We'll have a 1-minute break coming up here in just a moment. Could be the final play here. 19 seconds to go. Bentia looks to his left. Quick pass. Gets it to White. First completion to Jordan White. Back out for football this year. He gets it across the 40 to the 41. A pickup of 5. That's the first completion for Owen Bentia. And we might get one more play in if they're quick. And we will not. First quarter comes to a close with Mountainside leading 7-0. A 1-minute timeout. Roseburg third down when we come back to start the second quarter on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
At Douglas County Farmers Co-op, we want your four-legged friends to be healthy and happy. That's why we stock a carefully curated selection of pet, equine, and livestock supplies. From the premium foods your pets crave to grooming and show supplies that help you shine in the show ring, you'll find it at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our knowledgeable staff are here to help with those tough pet and livestock care questions. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
A blazing orange sun out in the distance to our left. The west end zone now behind Roseburg as they move their way east. 78 degrees and breezy here in Beaverton. A big third down coming for your Roseburg Indians. They trail 7-0 as we start the second quarter. Joey Kieran, Josh Nelson, and Matt Bagley with you here to kick off the 2022 season. From their own 41-yard line, got to get it to the 44. Bentia in shotgun with Eckel to his left. Trips to the right side, the wide side of the formation. Handed off. Eckel, a couple of stutter steps. He makes a couple of guys miss. Gets cut down quickly, though, right near the line to gain. And they'll say he's short by a yard or less. The nose of the football at the 48. And Roseburg's going to, at the 43. Roseburg's going to go quick. They give it to Eckel right through the middle of the line. I think they like what they see, as Eckel might have picked up the necessary yardage for the first down, and they will move the chains. Another fourth down conversion for Roseburg.
And this does a great job if you can do the run game just like that. They did that the first drive, got that first down, but we haven't seen much after that.
First down and 10 from the 45. Coleman, the center, snaps it back in shotgun. Bentia, another short pass to White. He caught it behind the line of scrimmage, had to reach up to get it, so it broke up his momentum. Didn't get his feet going, only picks up a half a yard to a yard.
Yeah, not a super productive play there, guys, but I got to say, I know the scoreboard's not showing it. Caden Eckel, he is running hard tonight. Something to love, something to build on as this game progresses.
2 catches, the only 2 completions, going both to Jordan White right now. Bentia, the sophomore, pressure coming. He gets a pass away as he's hit. A penalty flag is out. It's in the backfield. There's 2 flags. The second one came out way late. I wonder if it might be for a hit on the quarterback. But I think a holding might be in that area too.
You're going to have a hold on Roseburg, then you're going to have a hit to the head or neck area because they hit him high. They didn't. It was above the shoulder pads where he hit him.
So, nope. They're going to call them both the same. We saw 2 penalty well, let's wait. The both penalty flags are in the same spot, but now the official's going to come out again.
Well, you know what they say, guys. It's week 1 for the officials, too.
Yeah, right. I'm not sure if our official's mic'd up or not, but I was hearing the PA guy.
He's talking.
They're waiting to find out whether or not Mountainside wants to accept the penalty. It is a holding penalty right now at the 43-yard line, which would be a loss of 2 on the play. Actually, no, it wouldn't have been a loss. It was an incomplete pass. So it was going to be, I think it would have been second down and 10 if they had declined it because it was just an incomplete pass. They accept the penalty, and it should be first down again?
No, I think they were down 2 yards
No, that's
back.
correct. That's because we had the catch to White.
Yes.
So that is second down, and they put him back all the way to the 33-yard line on the penalty. Fake the handoff, looking to pass. Bentia some time. Now will get flushed out of the pocket, throws it. It's caught, and it will be for barely anything as the catch made by Caden Luther, his first catch of the season.
And the offensive line did a great job there. I think that's the experience of a sophomore quarterback for Roseburg is you've got to get that ball out quicker. He had plenty of time. You get about 3 seconds, you've got to throw that ball. You can't hold on to it and hope something happens.
The youngster probably waiting for something to come open. You've got to expect it and throw it. It's a completion of 1 yard to Luther. Makes it third down and long. They got 21 yards to go. They'll go on the draw to Eckel. He almost gets to the 40. They'll give him credit to the 40-yard line according to the far side judge. And now the near side will agree. It'll be fourth down and about 15 to go for Roseburg after the pick up to the 40-yard line.
And I know this drive is not going to end the way Roseburg fans want it, but I think this is another drive where you can build on the hard running of Eckel. He looks like the best player on the field so far tonight.
Now, he's just a junior. You've got sophomore in Luther, junior in Loomis, a senior, but back out. Seniors, 2 of them, back out for football for the first time in a while in White and Wilder. And then a sophomore in Bentia at quarterback. There's a lot of newness out there on the field for Roseburg. Punt unit out. Black will kick it from the 30. He's got a big leg. This one back inside the 10. It takes a hop up for Simpson, the return man. He gets it out past the 15, carries a defender, and it's not Simpson, excuse me. That is Gunnar Gustafson that returns it, and they give him credit out to the 21.
And when do you see an offensive defensive lineman punting the ball that far?
Andy Reid. I love it.
It is awesome. I love when you get to see the big guys doing something other than blocking or trying to get off a block and make a tackle. It's amazing.
Yeah.
You brought that up just so that he'd have to say something about a Chiefs guy, right? The Raider fan.
It breaks my heart to say that, by the way. But that is the absolute coolest Andy Reid trivia.
It is.
Mountainside will have their worst starting position of the night at their own 21-yard line with their offense out, leading 7-0, 9:42 to go, second quarter. It's Simpson, a delay in the backfield. He sheds a tackler and will get extra yardage coming up to try and make the stop. That is Landon Hodges. He just bounced right off of Simpson. Hodges, a junior, Simpson, the senior, and he carries it all the way out to the 38-yard line. A huge gain of 17 yards for Simpson.
If you're Hodges, you got to keep your head up. You cannot lower down. You could have also got a penalty there leading with your helmet. By all means, his head was not up. You got to keep it up. Try to wrap up and make that tackle.
First and 10, up the middle. They run once again, and more yardage, this time on the ground. That is Jared Lang, a senior running back, will get a chance to carry, and his first carry of the night goes to the 50. That is a pickup of 12.
And Josh, you mentioned that targeting that wasn't called. I'm eager to see if the officials go in that direction later in the game because it's a point of emphasis for them every year.
Absolutely, especially, I mean, you're looking at the NFL now using little soft shoulder or helmet things in preseason workouts. It's a big thing starting at the high school level.
High formation behind the quarterback, Alex Ingalls, as he was going under center, but a timeout called by Mountainside, their second here in the first half. Right now, the Mavericks leading 7-0 with 8:44 to go in the first half. We'll take a 30-second timeout. This is Roseburg football on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. 8:44 to go first half. Tonight's ball game is brought to you by Flyway Travel. You can contact their travel experts for your travel plans. Give them a call at 672-5701. Roseburg football here on The Score. Video stream brought to you by the Cow Creek Tribe. Under center goes Ingalls, and motion on the line for Roseburg. Here on the near side, it'll be encroachment on the defense, and that is a number I don't have on my roster. You got to love that when you've got guys that I'm not sure who that is. Who's that look like, Josh? You tell me.
Number 20. Who was it?
54 was the one offside. We go 50, 52, 53, 57. No 54 on there. So we'll have to double check with Heiberger at some point. He's offside. Encroachment on the defense, the penalty by Roseburg, and moves it 5 yards forward to the 45 on Roseburg's half. Ingles looking to throw. He gets it up in the air. He's got a man open. He can't get it to him. There was pressure in the backfield. The quarterback had to throw around a defender, and he tried to get it to Pimentel deep, one-on-one coverage, and he just couldn't connect.
Well, great job by Black to be able to get in there, get pressure, get his hands up to make the quarterback make that angle of throw, make it high and long. If he did not get in the backfield, that's probably a completion.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he would have had time to set it up, and the receiver had the defender beat. They'll go with the I formation. The fullback will lead block for Simpson, running left side. He's got time. He weaves his way through the white jerseys and just slowly plods his way upfield, knowing he's got the blockers in the space, and he'll move the chains. Simpson takes it to the 37.
We're 3.5 minutes into the second quarter now. I think the jitters you're starting to see have wore off for Mountainside. They're ready to start playing football. Roseburg still trying to figure it out a little bit. But it seems like that up front line is doing a great job at getting penetration. They're just not looking for the ball. They're keeping their head down.
8:13 and counting. Second quarter, Mountainside leads 7-0, looking to add to it in Roseburg territory with a fresh set of downs. Handed off on the end around. This is O'Connor. He's going to stretch it to the far side. He finds a seam. He bursts through and across the sideline on the far side of the field. Quinn O'Connor moves the chains as he takes it down to the 26. That is a pickup of 11 on the carry for O'Connor, his first of the night. And you're starting to see the playbook open up a little bit for head coach John Mannion and this Mountainside team. Sun is starting to set, just a sliver above the horizon. Lights are starting to take effect here at Mountainside High School. They set up with the I formation. Under center, Ingles, toss it out to O'Connor, get it to him in space. He's got a blocker in front, takes it down inside the 15. They mark him out inside the 10 at the 9, and O'Connor, the senior, bullies his way inside the 10. It's first and goal.
And right now, everything that Mountainside's trying to do, I think they have figured out. This defense is working perfectly. There's nothing that's not working perfectly for them right now. Roseburg needs to step up, try to get a stop now. It would be huge momentum-wise if Roseburg could get a stop here on the 9-yard line.
Meanwhile, Mountainside trying to take a 2-score lead. Under center goes Ingles, hands it off to the deep man. Simpson running left side, steps around a defender at the goal line. He's close. Did he get in? No. He'll be inches shy. The senior, Aaron Simpson, gets it down to the goal line. It'll be second and goal from the half-yard line.
Josh, you were wondering, can they get it together? I see a team that when they line up in zone defensively, like on the slant pass they broke up on a prior drive, these kids know what they're doing. Right now in man-to-man, Mountainside is beating them with a lot of motion and misdirection.
A lot of youth out on the edges for this Roseburg team in the secondary and in the linebacker crew. They've got to come up big here. It's a keeper for Ingles. The quarterback stretches in, and he is in for the score from 1 yard out. Touchdown, Mountainside, and the Mavericks are up 13-0, pending the extra point from Phillips.
Mountainside's doing a great job, too, with their offensive line, getting their first block and then moving into the secondary and grabbing another block.
Totally. Getting downhill.
Ingles, his first carry of the night from 1 yard out, puts the score in here in the second quarter. The hold is down, the kick is up, and splits the uprights. And so Phillips will make it 14-0. Right now, Mountainside in front of Roseburg with 7:07 to play here in the second quarter. We'll keep it right here after that timeout. 42 yards on the night for Aaron Simpson. And Simpson, he is picking it up a lot lately. His last 3 runs, I think, all coming on this drive, 8-8-17. They're starting to find the momentum out there, getting their blocks, understanding the offense, and understanding how to attack the defense of Roseburg. And we're starting to see it motion out there, but still just a 2-score game, not out of reach if Roseburg can find a way to start getting their offense going.
Absolutely, and I think what you're seeing with the defense is you're seeing the youth on this defensive team too, allowing for them to pick up those yards. You've got several sophomores playing on this team. You've got several juniors playing on this team. This is a very young Roseburg team trying to figure it out. Season's not over with. It is just, we're still in the second quarter of the very first game of the season. There's a lot to learn just off of the last quarter and a half.
Still a little ways to go here, but stick with us for halftime. We'll take a look at your stats from the first half and get you caught up on what's going on around high school football tonight. Roseburg trailing 14-0, getting the ball, looking to try and get a score before that halftime break. Both these teams reaching the second round of the state playoffs 1 year ago. Kick going to the 5. It's fumbled, picked up by the return man for Roseburg, but deep in his own territory, a couple of stutter steps and nowhere really to go. Does a nice job of getting some positive momentum, but that was Hodges, a youngster that I heard his name a lot at practices when I was there. I think they like what they've seen out of him athletic-wise, but I think a lot of it's the mental aspect of the game that they're trying to get him to understand and fully grasp his first season at varsity. And we've seen a couple of moments. You mentioned the tackling there, a fumble on the kickoff return. He'll be one to watch, continue to see how well he continues to grow in this system.
Oh, absolutely.
So Roseburg will have the football. They start out at their own 13-yard line. Bentia turns and hands it to Eckel, and they are just keying on him up on that front line. Could not escape. And we see a new number up there at that front line for Roseburg. Brayson Parker is a sophomore, number 53 up there on that offensive line.
Yeah, it's going to be a young Roseburg team this year, trying to work things out, trying to see where everybody best fits. I think Roseburg's still trying to figure out what their game plan is tonight.
No gain on that first down carry for Eckel. They're going to pitch it to him, trying to get him into the outside space, and they run him down. From that defensive edge position, James Richardson showing some good closing speed to track down Eckel.
Well, he did a great job at staying outside, and it helped with the offensive lineman pushing him backwards, keeping him outside. He didn't get drawn inside, which allowed him to contain that outside run.
It was a loss of 2 for Eckel back to the 11-yard line. Roseburg now facing 3rd down and 12. Bentia will be in shotgun, trips to his left side. Looking that direction, will pass short. That ball, ooh, that's a dangerous tackle. There comes the penalty flag. They got him by the helmet. Horse collar, face mask, one of the two. The catch was made out to the 15-yard line. It had been a pickup of 4. And I didn't catch the number. I was trying to see that. Did you see who caught that? My eyes are not so great anymore. That was Jordan White, I believe, on the catch.
I always say I wear glasses for a reason, so I'm no help in that department.
The penalty flag is at the 14-yard line. They're going to inch it forward a little bit. It is a face mask penalty. And so Roseburg's going to get some benefit here.
It was 21, I think. Yeah,
they caught it, 21?
Yeah, I believe it was.
That'd be Brayton Loomis. Brayton Loomis.
What surprised me about that play, guys, is I think if the defensive back plays the ball, he could have had a pick 6. He was right there. Instead, he plays the man, comes in a little high, and Mountainside give Roseburg some free yardage.
So the 4-yard completion put it to the 15. The penalty was at the 14-yard line. They walk it all the way out to the 29 on the penalty. Going to run it up the middle, and it is Eckel on the carry. I thought I saw the official on the far side throw a penalty flag, but maybe I was just seeing things. And again, I wear contacts, so I try to hide my vision deficiencies. They take it out to the 37-yard line. The play will stand. That's a pickup of 8 for Eckel.
Yeah, I see a lot of yellow on the field in terms of the borders and boundaries. Thankfully, no yellow handkerchiefs after that play.
It's gotten me a couple of times. They give it to Eckel again. He's trying to take over here. The junior stretching after a spin move. Gets into the secondary across the 40 to the 42 to move the chains. A pickup of 4. And look, we know that it's going to be Caden Eckel to try and carry the load in the backfield, and it looks like he's trying to establish himself a little bit more, pick up the intensity out there.
Well, and you've got to lean on him. I mean, last year he had 50 yards in every game except for Sheldon, and he was the 3rd best rusher in the Southwest Conference.
First team all-conference selection for the Tribe a year ago as a sophomore in his breakout year. He'll set up to the left of Bentia, give it to him again, trying to find space on the right side, and there's nowhere to go.
And I think breakout is a key word because all Roseburg need is one big play, one big run, and he's got the strength to pull it off. It's just Mountainside, credit to them, they are swarming on the football right now.
Right now, if Roseburg can get one big play, the momentum could switch very quickly.
Well, they need it here as we are working through the second quarter. 4:13 to go. Fake the handoff, throw into the flats. They collapse quickly, eluding the first tackler. Hanging on to the football, Jordan White will get his way out to the 44-yard line, a pickup of 2, and now it's going to be 3rd down and long.
And I really like this. You're doing the run, then you're doing those kind of receiver screens there, or trying to do the screens. It's bringing those safeties for Mountainside in, going to open up that deep pass later on.
Fake the handoff, rolling out to his left, setting up, throwing deep, down to Wilder. It's off his hands. He was right on the sideline, so it would have been close to even stay in bounds, but he's unable to haul it in, and it'll be 4th down for Roseburg.
And that's exactly what I just said. They brought those safeties in there within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. It allows for your receiver to get out there man-to-man. If that safety comes back, it's going to be a little bit too late. That was perfect there, just a little bit high and right at the out-of-bounds line.
So it'll be 4th down and 8 from the 44. And they look like they might have been considering going for it, might have just been trying to draw the defense off. Timeout called by Coach Dave Heiberger. Let's go ahead and take another 30-second break. 3:39 to go, second quarter. This is Roseburg football, streaming at 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Yeah, that's brutal.
So out of the timeout, Roseburg facing 4th down and 8 from their own 44-yard line. They will bring out the punter. He's always probably usually out there anyway. Tiger Black, busy night for him kicking the football. The big man this time gets underneath it. Won't get the distance, but if he can get a nice hop, nope. It's going to bounce in favor of Mountainside and down at their 31-yard line. So Roseburg, a drive aided by a penalty. They run a number of plays, wear off some time off the clock, down to 3:30 to go in the first half, but just unsuccessful and unproductive as they have to kick it away once again, and Mountainside sets up at their own 31.
Well, and if Roseburg can get like 3 successful plays in a row to start a drive, I think they're going to do pretty good. Because they're being able to open their playbook, but they can't get 3 successful plays in a row.
Last drive out, Mountainside, they had quite a few successful plays. They'll try to run it again, going right, coming back to the left. Simpson finds space. He's just got speed. And the speedy, shifty back out of the backfield. Play designed to go right. He comes back to the left, and he'll pick up enough distance for the first down.
And it looks like he got a little bit banged up on that play. He's coming off the sideline there. limping just a little bit.
No, that was one. I think he ran into the back of one of his receivers. Samuel Pimentel is the one that was limping, and that was Simpson that I think ran up the backside of him.
You are right.
And I know we're rooting for Roseburg orange and black, but I hate to see injuries at this level.
Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah. Especially game 1 of the season. 12-yard pickup for Simpson. Give it to him again. Why not? He switches the ball into his other hand, gets tackled high but clean by Tiger Black, the big-time defensive lineman. Southwest Conference Defensive Player of the Year last year. Led the Southwest Conference in sacks, and a big season for him. He is looking to try and keep that going as he makes a tackle for a 1-yard gain for Simpson.
Between him and Coleman on that front line, they are doing a fantastic job this evening. Coleman sealing that outside. Tiger Black is playing that defensive tackle position, getting into the backfield, getting into the quarterback's face. It's great to watch the defensive line have a little bit of success tonight.
Well, that is where they're experienced with some big names up along that front line, looking to try and keep it going. A man in motion right to left across the formation for Mountainside. They try to set up the screen. It's complete, but tackled immediately. And once again, we saw that happen to Roseburg, where a pass close to the line of scrimmage, high, the receiver has to jump, come up off the ground to get to it. That loses all momentum and momentum with the play, and it got slowed down. A lot of Roseburg to collapse right on top of it.
Totally, Joey. I think it's a great example of where coaches have a brilliant idea, but it's difficult to execute at this level. The screen game is supposed to take pressure off of your quarterback in the passing game, but if your quarterback and his line don't have the timing down at this level, the screenplay can be a disaster.
128 and counting in the first half. Mountainside will get the football to start the second half. Looking to throw some time over the middle. Did he catch it? The signal is a catch down the field for Quinn O'Connor. He's been everywhere for him. He'll move the chains, take the ball into Roseburg territory, down to the 44.
He just happened to find a break in that zone defense there. They were playing zone. They did have 4 guys back. It was a line of white all the way across the field. So even if he caught that, he wasn't going to go very far.
12-yard pickup on the ground, or through the air, for Quinn O'Connor.
Or kept with it, I should say. He did catch it.
Under a minute to play in the first half. Under center goes Ingles, dropping back, looking to pass downfield, trips to the right side. He's going that direction, has a man beyond the defense. O'Connor catches it, stumbles to the end zone. Did he stay in bounds? Touchdown, Mountainside, and the Mavericks will add another score before the break. This time it's Engels connecting with O'Connor, and it comes from 44 yards out, and it makes it the PAT's good. The scoreboard doesn't have the touchdown up there yet, and they were setting up. I thought maybe that they had said he stepped out of bounds. No, they're setting up for the PAT. It should be 20-0.
Now, I failed a lot of math classes in college, but I think you're right about that, Joey.
Failed a lot of math, but you can always add up touchdowns, right?
That's right.
Yeah, me too. It's Phillips out there to kick it away again. The right-footed kicker swings it through and punches it through the uprights. It's been a big second quarter for the Mountainside Mavericks, and they are currently leading this one 21-0 on top of Roseburg with 36 seconds to play here in the first half. We'll go ahead and take another 30-second timeout. We'll come back with more of the action here on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. Roseburg football on the score is brought to you by Evergreen Family Medicine, serving residents of Roseburg and Myrtle Creek with 40 providers and adding coverage in Sutherland by April of 2023. 41 seconds to go. They must have added some time back on the clock. I had it at 36 on the when I had written down the touchdown. Hodges gets it, took some steps back as if he was going to try and take a knee, but he wasn't in the end zone. So thankfully he doesn't do that. He'll take it out to the 19-yard line on the return, and Roseburg will just about get to the 20.
Well, he had the good wherewithal to actually look. He looked at both sidelines and where he was standing before he decided to do anything, and then realized he was not in that end zone.
5-play drive for Mountainside last time. They ended up going 69 yards for the touchdown to take their 21-0 lead. Roseburg will try to get the offense going. It has been a punt fest. They have the one turnover on the interception on the first drive. Roseburg content to just run it into the halftime, it looks like. They'll hand it off up the middle. Running is Eckel. Been a tough night for him to find some yardage. He's been able to do it, but that is his 15th carry of the night. And it went for no gain. They'll hand it off to him again. He's trying to bust one. He'll bounce outside. He's got the edge. He's got good speed. Can he get loose? He gets taken out near midfield, close to the 45. They'll put him at the 42 as he gets loose, and I think maybe Roseburg catches Mountainside sleeping there. And so that is a pickup of 23 yards, and there is 9 seconds left in the first half. Roseburg has first down and 10 from their own 42. That puts Eckel over the half-century mark at 59 yards tonight. He sets up in the backfield. Bentia rolls to his left a bit, going to throw downfield. Had a man open, but he overshoots White. I think some miscommunication on what route they wanted to run on that far sideline.
Absolutely a little bit of miscommunication between the receivers and the quarterback. You've seen it several times tonight. I think that's just the youth on this team. I figure they're going to get that figured out later on the season or even tonight. But they got to communicate a little bit better on that offense.
Second down and 10 with 4 seconds to go. In shotgun, Bentia will move Eckel to the right. Trips right side. Fake the handoff. Eckel stays into block. They go over the middle. It's caught by White. White goes right into a defender. He goes down to the 35-yard line as the first half comes to an end. We'll talk more about the first half. Maybe a little bit of positive momentum for Roseburg as they are able to see some big plays before the halftime break. Maybe they can take that into the second half. They've got ground to make up, trailing 21-0 as we go to the halftime break. We'll go ahead and take a 2-minute timeout as we head to your halftime show. We'll recap the scoring, the stats, and we will try to get you some scores from other games around the Umpqua Basin as we get high school football kicked off tonight. This is Roseburg football on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Deciding where to purchase your next vehicle is just as important as the vehicle itself. At Roseburg Honda, our seasoned staff is dedicated to matching you with the right car. From sales to service, our goal is to make sure all of your needs are met, and you leave our dealership feeling good every time you visit. No need to waste your valuable time driving up and down the freeway when the ultimate car buying experience is right here at home. Roseburg Honda. We treat you like family.
Welcome to our halftime show as Roseburg trails at the break 21-0 against the Mountainside Mavericks. Roseburg trying to get the offense going and see if the defense can come up with a big second half to keep this Mountainside offense in check. A youthful team out there for Roseburg, experiencing the bright lights of the Friday nights for the first time here this evening. Joey Kieran, joined by Josh Nelson and Matt Bagley in the booth with me tonight here from Mountainside High School, a school that was built back in 2017. This is the 5th season in existence for Mountainside. They've seen a lot of success through their short period of time. Runs to a quarterfinal berth and to a second round last year. And Coach John Mannion has them coming out and starting to fire things off here in the first half. Let's go ahead and take a quick look back at our scoring from the first half of this one. It was 7-0 at the end of the first quarter. Both teams struggling early on. An attempt at a screenplay by Roseburg on their first drive ended up with an interception thrown by Owen Bentia. He is the sophomore quarterback taking over this year for Roseburg, the starter last year on the freshman team, and helped lead them to a 6-3 record, but getting his first look at the varsity action tonight. Both teams punting after that, but then Mountainside finally breaks through with a little bit of offensive momentum. Started at the Roseburg 30 after Roseburg got sacked and taken all the way back to their 1-yard line. They had to punt from their end zone, didn't get a lot on it, and Mountainside a short field to work with. They capitalized on a few run plays, and taking it in from 16 yards out was Ian Salbeda that scores the first one of the season for the Mavericks. The kick was good by Harold Phillips, and that would Holden Phillips made it a 7-0 game with 3:09 to go in the first quarter. It stayed 7-0 until 7:07 to go in the second quarter, when a touchdown run of 1 yard by Alex Ingalls, the quarterback, the keeper, up the middle from the 1-yard line, would put it in. The kick was good. It was 14-0. And then just before the halftime break, Mountainside adds another one with 41 seconds to play, this time coming from 44 yards out. It's Ingalls with his first touchdown strike of the season, connecting with Quinn O'Connor. Get ready for that connection. I'm sure we'll see more of it throughout the season for this Mountainside team. And O'Connor finds his way in. The kick good, and it was 21-0. Mountainside takes the lead. Roseburg some positive momentum before the halftime break on offense. We'll see if they can figure that out and make some changes, get things going in the second half of today's ball game. We'll take another quick 2-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll look at individual statistics, and I'll chime in with my expert analysis in the booth. Matt Bagley and Josh Nelson helping me out here. When we come back on the halftime show, this is Roseburg football on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
For over 100 years, Douglas County Farmers Co-op has been serving the needs of farmers, ranchers, and homeowners throughout Southern Oregon. Here, everyone is welcome. When you shop with us, you can expect good people, good products, and good advice. No membership needed. Just bring yourself, and we'll provide the expertise and products you need to tackle your next project. Douglas County Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop.
Remember the good old days? When you didn't have to make an appointment or wait in line for an hour just to talk to your teller? When businesses were local and gave back to the community? At Cascade Community Credit Union, there are some things will never change. We're the only credit union or bank headquartered in Douglas County, and making our members a priority has always been our priority. For easy and simplified banking, visit CCCU. No appointment, just come on in.
People.
Yeah.
At the break, it is 21-0 Mountainside in front of Roseburg. Joey Kieran, Josh Nelson, and Matt Bagley joining you. Tonight's game streaming live online at 541radio.com thanks to sponsorship from the Cow Creek Tribe. We're going to run through stats, but coming up in the postgame show, we'll wrap things up. I know that's a long ways away, but I want to let you know that stick around in the postgame show because we'll be naming our Mountain Mike's Pizza player of the game. Mountain Mike's Pizza, the way it ought to be. I think it's just safe to say that we all like pizza, probably, right? Yeah. Okay.
I'll never.
You
turn
had
it
pizza
down.
on the drive up here.
Yeah, I did.
Josh. Yeah. Matt won't turn it down. Neither will I. Free food? Sure. And that's probably the most common free food is pizza, I would say. Nonetheless, we digress. Let's take a look at stats from the first half real quick, and then we'll get some analysis on things other than food from the guys in the booth. Taking a look at Mountainside, quickly some of the standouts. Alex Ingalls, the junior quarterback, is 7 of 10 through the air, 75 yards and 1 touchdown unofficially there. On the ground, Aaron Simpson, the senior back, 8 carries, 55 yards. They've got 2 rushing touchdowns, a 1-yarder from Ingalls and a 16-yard touchdown run by Ian Salbeda. Salbeda with 2 carries for 15 yards so far tonight. Leading receiver will be O'Connor, and O'Connor checking in with 73 yards on the night out of the 75 for Ingalls. On the other side for Roseburg, through the air, 6 of 10 for Owen Bentia. It's been mostly a lot of short yardage stuff, but he breaks off a 44-yarder there before. Oops, I'm looking at the wrong side. He did break off a big one, but it wasn't that far. 23 yards. So we are at 6 for 10 for 36 yards through the air for Bentia. He does have the 1 interception. On the ground, Caden Eckel, big night carrying so far. 16 carries total. He's got 59 yards. And leading receiver right now, Jordan White, the senior, with 4 catches for 31 yards. That's a look at the numbers again. Stick around for the player of the game afterwards. For Roseburg, they will receive a $25 gift certificate to Mountain Mike's. All right, we got 2 other guys in the booth, so we'll start out, Josh, just looking at the first half, things that stand out to you.
The youth on Roseburg's side, I think it stands out the most to me. I've said it during the first and second quarter quite a bit. The youth, the inexperience, first game of the season, getting to play in that live action to really see how good you are, to see where you need to build on. I think that's what I see right now, is that everybody is seeing where they need to build on right now. And I think going into halftime, you can see some of the adjustments that need to be made, and I think the adjustment that needs to be made is really not a whole lot of adjustment, just execution. Coach Heiberger said it in his pregame interview with you, was that attention to detail. You've got to have that attention to detail and then execute every single play correctly the way it's supposed to be executed. I think they're going to harp on that, but I like the game plan is run, screen, and then open up that deep pass. It's going to work if they execute it right.
I think you're totally right, Josh. The score line is not ideal right now, 21-zip Mountainside, but you talk about the play calling. There are 3 positives in my mind in that first half. Play calling is the first among them. Dave Heiberger is always aggressive. He's always confident in his team, and you see that with those deep pass strikes they've called a couple times. I also see hard physical play, tough play from the Roseburg roster. Caden Eckel is running very physical, very strong. And Tiger Black, can we talk about that tackle he made? That was like a rodeo rip right? Take that cattle down to the dirt. Just one hand and whoom. I was so impressed by him. And then that blast he had on the punt was special too. Third thing that I love, and this is, I think, is the best of all, we've got no smoke in the air. We've got no COVID. We've got a normal high school football game. Haven't said that in a few years.
That's an amazing feeling right there, actually, to be able to say that. No smoke in the air. Last year we sat there, went to Cottage Grove for the opening game of the season on a Saturday.
we started on a Friday, got postponed. Started on a Saturday at home, got moved to Cottage Grove, and finally got a game in against Summit on a Saturday to kick off the season last year. I did have, I talked to coaches all throughout Douglas County previewing what's coming up this season. And I had one, I want to say it might have been Douglas, but they told me, this feels like the first normal kind of summer into the training camp, fall camp, and into the fall season. It feels like the first normal season we've had in a while.
Totally right. It really does.
Oh, since my last time I did a full season with you, that's what it's been, and it seems like that was a decade ago, to be honest with you, for me at least. I mean, you look at the student section, you look at the parents,
for some of us. So.
You look at the Roseburg fans that traveled up here, which quite a few actually traveled up here. Everybody's out here, they're sitting amongst each other, having fun, and a year and a half ago, you weren't doing that.
No.
It is great, and for those that didn't make the trip up, we are appreciative that you're tuning in and found us on our YouTube channel or online at 541radio.com, where you can watch Roseburg High football all throughout the rest of the season, and you can keep track of things. We're going to be making a couple of trips up to Salem later on in the season, as Salem is now part of the Roseburg League. We've got, obviously, trips down south. We've got 2 trips to Medford. We don't go to Eugene. Sheldon comes to Roseburg, and Grants Pass comes to Roseburg. 2 trips to Spiegelberg. Spiegelberg is a historic. Well, let me real quick. You're a Medford guy.
It's the venue, right? You hate that little booth they cram you in.
I'm sure as a fan and as a player, it's great. As a broadcaster, I absolutely hate it, and I got to go there twice.
Well, here's what you got to do. Here's the secret, because you know me. It's my booth. It's the 96.1 and 580 The Game press box there at Spieg in the historic McLeod press box. You've got to get there early. Get there at 4, get there at 5, beat 96.1 The Game's broadcaster, and park your booty in that nice booth they get. And then you don't have to worry about being relegated into that bird cage off to the side.
That bird cage off to the side is tight. You've just 2 of us in there. It is a tight spot, but that place is spectacular. Yeah. If you are playing, I've played a game myself down there. That field, that atmosphere, it just feels like you're playing in a stadium.
It's not about us, the broadcasters, so we'll deal with whatever spot we get, but
really?
We will be down there. So.
It's not about us?
I mean, I try to make it that way, but I try to tell people in Roseburg I'm famous. Some of them believe me. I have not been asked for an autograph unless when I'm buying dinner somewhere. Sometimes. Joey Kieran, Josh Nelson, and Matt Bagley joining you here. It's great to have you all with us. Again, the video stream, what started that whole conversation, the video stream is up and running, and you can find it at 541radio.com and on our YouTube channel, 1490 The Score on YouTube. And you can subscribe and follow Roseburg High School sports throughout the season. If you subscribe, hit the little bell notification, you'll get updates when we go live with a Roseburg High broadcast this season. It's all sponsored by the Cow Creek Tribe. Before we take our final break here during halftime, Josh, you were collecting some scores from games of note around the Umpqua Basin. Why don't we go through that?
Absolutely. So it looks like at halftime, St. Mary's leads Sutherland 28-0. Going down.
And real quick, that is a game you can catch on I-101 FM. Dan Bain will be covering Sutherland football all throughout the season.
All right. Then you got Powder Valley beat Camas Valley today, 40-36. Glendale beat Gilcrest 55-18. Powers beat Elkton 14-7. And Riddle beat Days Creek 39-27.
All right, taking a look at games of note from our teams in Southern Oregon. I can't say from the Southwest Conference anymore because it doesn't technically exist for football.
That's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
What do we call this conference
Special
now?
District 2, I think.
Special District 2 big, if you ask me.
10 team, but it goes from being too small to maybe slightly too big.
If the Salem schools didn't like going to Bend last year,
they're going to
I can't wait till they go to Medford.
We talked about this on the drive up here. Bend is, you're going maybe about the same distance, maybe a little longer from Salem down to Medford. It's probably about the same, but it's just straight down I-5.
Yeah, I-5 is so much easier,
to
drive
drive over the mountain, especially later in this fall season. Who knows? But
that's true.
Taking a look at the other teams from Southern Oregon, the old Southwest Conference. North Medford was scheduled to be at home against number 2 ranked West Lynn tonight. That game moved to Eugene because of smoke in Medford. They are playing at Willamette High School tonight. Number 7 ranked Sheldon is at home against Glencoe this evening. South Medford, they're up this direction as well. They're at Beaverton tonight. Grants Pass, they were scheduled to go south to Shasta High School to play in Redding, California. There was a new wildfire that popped up in Weed, California. So I'm not sure if that game is still on as scheduled or not. Did you see? I don't know if you saw anything on Twitter or anything, Matt.
That fire is just climbing, Joey. I caught 2,500 acres when I left my house before kickoff.
I'm not sure if there's any updates on Grants Pass going to that game, but I could understand where that one could be in question. Some games that played yesterday of note that Roseburg will face later on in the season. Next week's opponent at home for Roseburg, Nelson. The Hawks, another new program. They're only in, I believe, their third year of existence so far. They win 28-0 against Aloha yesterday to start out the season. And North Salem, our Week 3 opponent, they win 35-3 against Roosevelt. So some wins for teams on Roseburg's schedule coming up. Right now it's 21-0. Roseburg trailing at halftime against Mountainside. As we are on the road to start the season, the wind picking up a little bit as the lights are taking effect at the new high school here in Beaverton. We'll take a 60-second timeout. 60-second timeout, and we will come back with our second half kickoff. When we return, this is Roseburg football on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
$12 minutes on the board here shortly. We've got 30 seconds left of our halftime break. All right, so fellas, I think we may have covered it some. I'll be honest, I sometimes zone out when you guys talk, so I'm just not going to lie. But what's one thing you want to see that Roseburg can try and accomplish here in the second half of our ball game?
Execution. I think execution, like I said earlier, is going to be the key. Execute in the right way. Don't move backwards. Don't regress, but actually execute the plays that are called correctly.
Matt, something that stands out to you maybe?
I 100% agree with you, Josh. Credit to Dave Heiberger. You know he's going to put trust in his team. He'll give these kids chances. We're talking deep strikes, play action. There will be chances for big plays. Can they execute? And are they ready to execute week one? That's what I want to see.
I'm hoping to see the defense come up with some big plays to help spark that offense. I know they got asked to do a lot of offensive possessions for Mountain View. It's going to start out with one as we get ready to start the second half. Temperatures dropping as the sun does go down. You got a nice orange glow on the outskirts of the hills out to our left here, high atop the press box at Mountainside High School. The wind up here is starting to pick up, and this might be similar to what we saw at Southridge last year when I was there, where things were really breezy where we were. I asked Coach Heiberger about it afterwards, and he said, we didn't notice anything down on the field. Down there, it's a little bit different. We're up high, exposed to the elements, so we're experiencing the wind. The American flag is flapping around pretty good out to our right in the east end zone, so maybe a little bit of effect to the ball down on the field.
Absolutely, and even on the goalpost, they got a little bit of flags on the goalpost, and they are flying out a little bit there. It doesn't feel like it's blowing as hard down there as it is up here. Those aren't flapping as nearly as hard as I would think they would be up here, though.
It's really starting to pick up. Roseburg will be kicking away in the second half. It should be a Mountainside football to start things off. As we get ready to begin the second half, remind you tonight's ballgame is sponsored by Tim's Appliance and Mattress at the corner of Lane and South Stevens in Roseburg. 0% financing is always available. And tonight's game sponsored by B&D Meats, located in Winston. Speaking of not listening to you guys while you talk, you guys are going to talk, and I was going to eat some of this sandwich I brought to eat during before the game. Didn't get a chance for it then. Didn't get a chance for it at halftime either.
You had 3-hour drive up here to eat that sandwich.
Joey. Well, I wanted to save half of it for before the game because I knew it would be late by the time we got to it. So got to go get dinner.
See, that's why you got to schedule a pregame meal on the drive.
I ate half of it on the drive up here. I was going to save half of it for right before the game, and then I'd be good all the game. Now I'm starving, and all I've got is this energy drink. As you could tell, am I talking fast? I feel like I'm talking fast. Joey Keyran here with you, along with Josh Nelson. Just make sure everybody knows who it is that's being silly on the radio. And Matt Bagley here with me as well as we kick off the high school football season here on The Score. Roseburg will be kicking left to right. For the first time, we get to see Tiger Black as a place kicker. He's punted a number of times, but we haven't seen him kick it with the ball on the ground. Mountainside will be moving right to left on your radio dial. Mountainside wearing the black jerseys. They've got a blue trim with white trim as well, white numbers on the back. They've got a silver helmet to them. And Roseburg wearing the white road jerseys, black numbers on the back outlined in orange. On the front and the back of the jerseys with the orange and black trim on the shoulder pads and the pants. Just trying to see.
Did you say black for the Mountain View jersey? Looks like a blue, a dark blue, and then a white outline of a blue.
We can never just agree, can we? No logo on the helmet, though, for Mountainside. It's just silver. I was expecting to see the Mavericks logo on top of their helmets. Not there. All right, we're ready to go on the kickoff. 12 minutes on the board. Toe punch towards the sideline. It is taken at the shoe tops by the return man at the 30, make that 26. He'll get it out, races out to the 35-yard line. And Mountainside will have decent position to start out the second half. Roseburg has turned it over once. I think the best thing you could ask for here is a turnover to get it back and really ignite something for the second half.
Give a little bit of momentum to that offense. Get this ball taken away, or at least get them a stop on downs to get that offense out. Don't give up any more points on this opening drive of the second half.
You're totally right, guys. We know Mountainside is going to try to pound this ball inside. If Roseburg can stop it like they've stopped it on previous drives, they can get back in this game.
Ingles in shotgun will move O'Connor from right to left, trips to the left side. They'll just hand it off up the middle, and that is a big burst of speed. Right up the middle to the 40-yard line goes Simpson. The senior back will move the football to start out the drive. He picks up 5.
Big hole made by that offensive line for Mountainside there. Did a great job at opening up, spreading out that defense on the Roseburg defensive line, and then getting to the secondary and making a block there.
Pretty balanced attack so far from Mountainside. They've passed it 10 times. They have run it now, let's say, 14 times. So fairly balanced out there, and they've seen success on both sides. Blitz coming from the left side. They pass that direction. Pass away. It's caught first down into Roseburg territory. Hit on the quarterback as he let it go, but he's on target, finding the receiver on the far side for Mountain View. That is Braden Bowe on the catch, a sophomore.
And it was Braven Harrison, number 10 for Roseburg, that was able to come out and make that hit on the quarterback. And that helps out the defense just a little bit. Even though that was a completion, you get the quarterback thinking, possibly get into his head, getting that hit on that quarterback.
15-yard completion for the first down to the Roseburg 45. Ball on the right hash mark. Snap goes through the hands of the quarterback, and all he can do is dive on it. Ingles goes head first onto the football, diving on top of it back at his own 44-yard line. That is a huge loss on the mishandled snap, and they're back into Mountainside territory.
And that plays in Roseburg's favor. Now he's got 3 downs to try to get a first down, or 2 more downs at least. I say if you get past the 50-yard line in high school football, you don't punt the ball. You just go for it on 4th down no matter what. So at least 2 more plays to get a first down, but it's going to be second and 21?
Second and 21, a loss of 11 on that mishandled snap. In shotgun is Ingles. Blitz coming from the right side. They pick it up, pass away. It's complete. A hook route on the far side. They just come back at the number right on top of the 40, and that'll get them back into Roseburg territory, and that'll be a pickup of 16.
Which makes this very third and manageable, 3rd and 5. You've got to get a stop if you're Roseburg right now. Quit giving up those deep, long passes.
Over 100 yards through the air now for Ingles at 106. He's completed twice in a row to the new man out there, Braden Bowe, who we had not seen before. Now they hand it off Simpson. He's got a lot of space on the right side. Bounces around the edge and past the first down marker. A first down carry again for Simpson. And Roseburg had them backed up, and they cannot come up with a stop.
It pains me to say it, guys. I'm rooting for Roseburg, but that was a brilliant play call by Coach Mannion at Mountainside. The whole Roseburg defense crashed on the interior. They thought it was going to be an inside run. They faked the inside run, get it to the back going outside, and he had all day.
Oh, it was a fantastic play call by Mountainside there. And Mountainside came out, put their foot on the gas, and they are not letting up.
6-yard pickup by Simpson to pick up the first down. 1st and 10 from the Roseburg 34. They'll go on the end-around sweep, carrying the football to the near side. A stutter step, trying to take on the tackler. Hodges will make the stop, but not before a big carry. Gunnar Gustafson goes on the end-around sweep. They start from the right side, bring it all the way back to the left, and take it down to the 19.
And somehow or another, if you're Roseburg right now, you need to slow this momentum up. You need to get in the backfield. You had a little bit of help with that bad snap by the center, but you've got to do something on your side of the ball. Get a stop, get a sack in the backfield, penetrate that offensive line. That offensive line right now is like a stone wall for Mountainside.
15-yard pickup for Gustafson on the ground. 1st and 10 from the 19. Ball on the left hash mark. Move a man in motion. He comes towards the line, stops there. Handoff right up the middle. Not a lot going. And a short gain on first down, but it's about 3 yards, so it's not too short. And I want to say it's a different ball carrier out there. Yeah, number 16 carrying the ball this time. That is... I wrote his name down on the other roster. Elam Young.
You have it. It's just there's no light up here. We're on top of the press box. So the folks below us, they've got a palace with all the lighting, and they can see everything and work well. And we're trying to work amongst the darkness.
Yeah, it was actually really nice earlier, and then the darkness set in.
So they go from the 16-yard, make it the 17 in a run up the middle for Young again. So he picked up 2 on first down. On second down, he'll take it down to the 12 and picks up 5.
That was an awesome tackle by Tyler Reitman. I mentioned the tackle that Black had earlier where he yanked a runner down with one arm. Reitman just did the same thing, roped him down. Real impressive.
3rd down, they've got to get it inside the 10, the ball at the 13, so it's a little more than 3 yards to go. Pass it, short pass out to O'Connor. It's high. He uses a stiff arm to get away from the first man and will pick up the first down. It was Brody Robertson, the sophomore, that got there first, but the stiff arm effective, and O'Connor moves the chains.
And it's just fantastic play calling right now by Mountainside. I mean, they're running the ball. They're getting that short pass. It's going to open up that deep pass later on in the game. Keep that clock running. If you're Mountainside at this point, I'm going to try to run the ball as much as I possibly can.
O'Connor out to the far side of the field. Bowe is the lone target to the left side. Turn around and hand it off up the middle. Tackle by the safety. The ball carrier down at the 1. And Mountainside can't believe it. They wanted a touchdown on the run. There's a big body barreling up the middle. Trying to catch the number. I didn't catch the number on that runner. I want to say it ended with an 8. Might have been David McCray. I'm not sure. Anyway, sets up 2nd down and goal from the 1. 7-yard pickup. Might have been number 8, the fullback. Pitch to the running back, stopped at the 1. Roseburg's defense comes up with a stonewall at the goal line. Simpson short of the goal line. It'll be 3rd down and goal.
That was an amazing stop right there by Roseburg. They didn't even give up an inch on that play at all.
So now 3rd down and goal with the football just inside the 1-yard line.
I don't want to get too greedy, but can I ask for a turnover here?
Let's see what happens on 3rd down. Under center goes Ingles. He already has a quarterback sneak for a touchdown. Moves a man in motion. He'll turn and pitch it. Running left side, it's Young. Slips 1. Gets taken down short of the goal line again. I think he gets lost. They're going to give him right back to the line of scrimmage. I don't think he even maybe got that.
No, and right now you are seeing Black step up big. You are seeing Coleman step up big too. Coleman's been in on the last 2 tackles for sure.
Yeah, and Dylan Bradfield coming in as well. Nice tandem tackle to deny a touchdown.
So it'll be 4th down and goal from the 1-yard line. Ingles under center. He will hand it off. Running left side. Do they hold him up this time? No signal yet. The officials are closing in. He was right on the goal line. It wasn't clear. If they stop him short, it's a turnover on downs.
I think they stopped him,
and
Joey.
I think they are going to say it's a turnover on downs. Roseburg gets the ball back.
And that is huge momentum. You hold that goal line stance right there. That defense picked up big. That is the momentum swing that you need if you're Roseburg right now. Now execute these plays on offense.
Joey, you're drinking an energy drink. I guarantee you that is all the boost Dave Heiberger needs. You watch your defense make 4 clutch stops at the goal line. That is tough, hard, physical football at its finest.
It is a boost for Roseburg, but can the offense capitalize? That's what you're talking about there. And they've got 99 yards to go. And they start in their own end zone. It's Owen Bentia, the sophomore, that'll hand it off to Eckel. He sidesteps a couple of defenders and will get not much. I thought they were going to give him at least out to the 2. They put him right back at the 1. No gain on 1st down for Eckel.
Man, I'm still so amped after that stop. How can you not be romantic about football?
Oh, absolutely. That stop was amazing. If you're Eckel right now, though, you don't want to dance in that backfield like he just did. Just get straight down the field.
5:20 and counting here in the 2nd quarter. Handed off to Eckel again. He got stuffed at the line. They're going to push him back. And I think they give him forward progress to the 1-inch line. It's barely out of the end zone. The football will be pretty much right at the goal line. Timeout called, an injured player down for Roseburg. They stuffed that one, did Mountainside.
It looks like it might be Eckel.
No, that is Brayton Loomis is down on the field. Roseburg's trainer will come out. Let me see if they've got her name on here. Christina. No, that's Mountainside. Lindsay. That's what I thought it was Lindsay, but I jumped to conclusions when I read Christina. That was the wrong side of the roster. New athletic trainer for Roseburg this year, taking over for the esteemed Julie Deaver. Julie, I would imagine, maybe tuning in. She might actually be here. I don't know if she decided to come up with the kiddos. But Julie moving on to a new role, and she is desperately missed. Everybody loved Julie as the athletic trainer. Got to talk to Lindsay a little bit. One of the first couple of days of training camp for all high school fall sports. And I was out there watching practice, and somebody came running from the gym out to the football field to get her attention. She had to run back in, came back out. I go, trouble at volleyball? She said, no, cheerleading. Somebody had a dislocated kneecap.
Oh.
Kudos to Braden Loomis. He walks off the field under his own power.
Thank you for the update there. Also had to deal with a broken arm early in the day in the freshman game as well. That was at the Orange and Black. All right, it's 3rd down. Roseburg has managed to not give up the safety so far. Looking to pass is Bentia. He's going down the far side of the field, overthrows everybody. So Roseburg wins the battle defensively, but offensively cannot find any momentum from their own goal, and they will have to kick it away on 4th down and 10 from their own 1.
Well, and right now, if you're the defense, you still have that momentum of you stopped them on the 1-yard line from going in. You're going to get a punt. You have the confidence that you can continue to battle that way, and hopefully the offense can get something going later on.
Exactly right, Josh. They've gotten stops tonight. They just haven't consistently gotten stops, and you hope that as the season progresses and this team gains more exposure, that they can make that happen.
A low line drive kick from Tiger Black goes to the 45. The return man to the near side. Gustafson stood up at the 28-yard line, then was able to stay on his feet, stumble forward a little bit further. Josh, you were noticing something in the end zone, it looked like you were pointing to on the return.
Yeah, Tiger Black out there, I think he did his best LeBron James flop right there. He barely got touched and then decided he was going to fall down, act like he actually was pushed down. It was actually quite comical.
I like that term, a LeBron James flop. There's no bias in that statement whatsoever, right?
None at all.
The return takes it to the 26-yard line for Mountainside. Hey, you guys talked about big guys punting. You don't see that too often. And so, Tiger's back there. They probably told him, if anybody touches you, flop. And he's seen what kickers do on TV, so.
Right.
But it was in slow motion. It wasn't just this one of those just like, oh.
Get out the Emmys. Hey, fake the handoff. Pass tipped. It's intercepted by Roseburg. They get their first takeaway. And coming up with the stop for the Tribe is Brevin Harrison, the first takeaway this season. A tip ball drill. And look at that. A turnover on down at the goal line. And they don't do much on offense, but they're able to keep the defense going, and it's keeping Roseburg in this one.
Back-to-back drives with turnovers. I know they're down 3 scores, but those are the kind of plays that swing ball games. If Roseburg comes back, they are going to remember this on the drive home, Joey.
4:29 to go. Maybe a little bit of life here in this one for Roseburg. The Tribe will have it after the one-play possession at their own 36-yard line.
Well, and it was that mysterious 54 player that tipped the ball for Roseburg.
We'll have to check on some numbers. Hand off. No, quarterback keeper running left side. Drop for a 2-yard loss for Bentia. And the sophomore continues to try and find his way out there on the field. It's been a struggle for him at times when he's taken off running. And that speed that we saw from Marsters, we're not yet seeing it from Bentia. Still a youngster out there.
Not yet. And, guys, you know what that means? If 54 isn't on the roster but he's making plays, he's got some more plays left in him tonight.
He's going to be on the roster soon, right? They're going to make sure that his number's on there. Or maybe they're leaving him off on purpose so nobody can scout him. 2nd down and 12. Ball in the middle of the field. Bentia will move Eckel to his right. Trips right side. They run the option, pitch it late to Eckel. He sidesteps one defender, but swallowed up by a defensive man from the backside. Coming up to make the stop is Reed Gerber. A pickup out across the 35 to the 37. And we should give credit from this defense from Mountainside. Their big guys up front have been doing a nice job tracking down Roseburg's runners.
They're doing a wonderful job tracking them down and being able to stop Eckel. Eckel has worked really hard, and he's running fast. But that defense for Mountainside is doing a great job.
3-yard run for Eckel. They look to pass, and the pass game has just been a little off at times.
The communication is not there. There's a miscommunication on what the receivers are supposed to be doing. I'm sure going into practice this week, that's going to be probably the number one point of emphasis tonight, because 4 or 5 times tonight we've seen where they're throwing the ball and the receiver is in the wrong spot.
That's exactly right, Josh, and I think it's something that, is it polished right now? No, but it's week 1, first week of September. You don't expect it to be. I always treat football like a classroom. You can't expect these kids to be masters at calculus week 1 of the school year. It's going to take time. So I expect the passing game to be more polished as we get closer to league play.
Tiger Black will punt it away from the return man. Gets a great hop inside the 15, down at the 14-yard line by Jace Wilder. And a beautiful punt there by Tiger. We'll back up Mountainside. So we went from Mountainside at the 1-yard line, then a Roseburg punt from their own end zone. Mountainside deep in Roseburg territory to start out a drive. Interception to a punt. So we go from the 1-inch line looking to score for Mountainside to now they are starting back inside their own 15-yard line. I mean, that is a turn. Now, you guys were talking about some interesting stuff there, and if we were on a sports talk show, we would dissect this intensely, but we're at a football game with action to cover. But look at where the inexperience and youth is for this Roseburg team. Quarterback and wide receiver. They've got experienced offensive linemen, experienced running back. The areas that we've seen issues sometimes tonight has been in that connection with the running back or the quarterback and the wide receivers. And as you guys said, hopefully something that grows the rest of the season.
And it will. It will absolutely grow as these guys come together and become a team.
3:01 to go here in the third quarter. Handoff. Here's an experienced runner. That is Simpson up the middle. He got hit at the knee level, spins, stays on his feet, keeps his balance, and he's out past the 30 to about the 32-yard line, and a big run from their 14-yard line out to the 31. So Simpson will add more yardage on that carry as he picks up 17. They'll run it again. End around sweep. Good block out in front for the ball carrier. And he is taken down by Hodges carrying the ball. That is Tanuvasa on the carry. And he will move the chains, but a penalty flag out on the far side of the field as he carried it out to the 46.
Against Roseburg sideline again. Heiberger's going off on the line judge right now on that one. But that going back to that block, number 1, it looks like Aaron Simpson for Mountainside. A great job on that block. I mean, he hit the block, kind of bounced off, and then re-engaged that block to stop the tackle. Yeah. That was a very good job. He's only 5'10", 160 pounds. Great job.
And I agree with you, Josh, but I think it's funny, Dave Heiberger is chewing out a ref right now. I think it's because of that block. From his angle, I think he thought that Boston Williams was held when he tried to lunge and make that tackle on the play.
So they're going to mark it off 15 yards. It was another sideline penalty against Roseburg, so it comes at the end of the play. And that's a huge boost. It takes it down to the 39, other side of the 50 for Mountainside. Penalty numbers, I don't have totals, but Roseburg's definitely not on the positive side of that battle tonight. A handoff up the middle, sidestep a defender, going up the right seam inside the 35. That's a pickup of about 7 for Simpson as he gets taken down in the middle of the field out around the 32. 7-yard pickup for Simpson. A lot of ball carriers tonight for this Mountainside team. That was a 15-yard carry for Tanuvasa that had the penalty tacked on. And now a 7-yard carry by Simpson. Simpson inside, bounces it outside, shimmy shake, a couple of them. He continues to mash on the X button, trying to get away from the defenders. It's like he's playing video games out there, and he gets a first down. Is it the X button? I never know. I'm never good at those games. That's what I do.
The L2 button or something like that. I'm not sure.
It's definitely increased.
Either way, you're seeing the experience, like we were talking about the offense earlier, about the experiences on the line. You're seeing the experience on the defensive line. You're seeing the inexperience on breaking down, watching the hips of the runner in the secondary. And that's where the youth, again, on this Roseburg team is also in the secondary on this defense.
Yeah.
Over 100 yards tonight now for Aaron Simpson, the senior, at 104 after that 14-yard carry to set up first down and 10 from the 18, and timeout called by Roseburg before the snap with 1:03 to go here in the third quarter. It's 21-0. Roseburg trailing against Mountainside in the third period. Let's take a 30-second timeout. This is Roseburg football. Streaming online at 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Okay, the video. Out of the timeout, running up the middle, Aaron Simpson. Once again, he has been carrying the load as they try to wear down the clock in the second half. Mountainside gets big carry down to the 14-yard line as they will pick up 4 yards on first down, second down and 6 as we welcome you back here at Mountainside High School in Beaverton. Up to the line come the Mavericks in shotgun as Ingles moves a man in motion. They'll underhand toss it to him. The end around, and it is down to the down to the 5. The carrier on that one. They're getting everybody out there. Manny Holt, a sophomore, with the reception on the underhand pitch forward. Holt takes it down inside the 5. They are spotting him at the 3.
In talking about the first game of the season, you're now beginning to see it as the wear down area of the game. You're seeing Roseburg get their hands on their hips. They're getting winded. Their heads are coming down a little bit. And that's just your first game of the season. You may not have all the conditioning you need just yet to play all 4 quarters of this ball game. But you're definitely seeing it on the Roseburg side right now.
Mountainside goes to their power formation, tied into the left as they go I formation, run that direction. A cut, puts it in the ground, into the end zone, across the plane, in for his first touchdown run of the night. It's Aaron Simpson who scores from 3 yards out. With 16 seconds to go in the third quarter, Mountainside finds the end zone for the first time in the second half. And now well over 100 yards with a touchdown. Simpson, a nice night for the senior back. Well, in the pregame interview, Coach Heiberger saying, look, it's going to be an eye-opening moment. We're going to learn what we have. They're going to have a lot of great tape to take a look back at what happened here tonight and build off of it. Trailing 28-0, Mountainside in front and leading against Roseburg.
And there's still a lot of good things that Roseburg is doing. I mean, the defensive line, the offensive line, Eckel running with everything he has, trying to carry the load of this team a little bit on that offensive side of the ball. The score says 28-0, but you're not. That 0 doesn't represent all the good that's actually happening on the field. There are some things to work on but they're kind of minor things. Really, if you look at it, there's 3 or 4 things, but if you fix those 3 or 4 things, you have a solid football team going into the rest of the season.
100%. I see a defense that is making stops. I see an offense that is running the ball on first and second down, but I don't see consistency on the defense yet. They'll build that with time, and I don't see third down conversions and big plays offensively. I'm hopeful for that too. Give it time, and this team is going to rack up some wins.
And if you get that run going 2 or 3, 4 yards, first and second down, it opens up that pass game, but they're not able to execute on that quite yet. Once you get that pass game going, I think it changes everything.
Phillips with the kickoff, the right-footed boot, and will not go into the end zone. You got to field it, and falling to the turf, Hodges. He thought that ball was going into the end zone. It's a live football. If it doesn't go into the end zone, that's there for Mountainside to grab. And so Hodges has to jump on it at the last minute. And I think this is where not only do you see the physical fatigue, you start to see some of the mental fatigue.
No doubt. Hey, that fooled me as a camera guy. I just assumed the ball was going to bounce over. I think he did too. Early in the season, like you said, stamina is playing a factor. And I think we saw a mental lapse there.
And that's a first game jitter mistake there. You won't see that mistake later on in the season.
Nope.
Starting at their own 3 is Roseburg. Handed off, trying to cut up field on the end around for the Tribe. It's going to be Boston Williams, a senior, back out for football this year. Good to see him get a carry here. And that should wrap up this third quarter. And 000 on the clock as they spot that football right back at the line of scrimmage. A gain of no yards for Boston Williams, and we will head to the fourth quarter. Our score 28-0. Right now it's Mountainside in front of Roseburg here on the 541radio.com website and streaming on the score 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
At Douglas County Farmers Co-op, we want your four-legged friends to be healthy and happy. That's why we stock a carefully curated selection of pet, equine, and livestock supplies. From the premium foods your pets crave to grooming and show supplies that help you shine in the show ring, you'll find it at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our knowledgeable staff are here to help with those tough pet and livestock care questions. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
We start the fourth quarter. Roseburg backed up, trying to get out of the shadow of their own end zone. It'll be moving right to left on your radio dial here, trailing 28-0. Roseburg looking to throw. Bentia in the end zone, sets up, throws downfield. It's picked off. A juggling catch by the defender. It goes to the 9-yard line and is taken down there. The interception made by Mountainside's Braden Bowe. And he was in close coverage and did a nice job, knocked it up in the air with one hand, got back to it with the other. And the Mavericks will start out the fourth quarter with an INT.
And again, I think the communication wasn't there. Receiver turns around and then realizes the ball's there at the last section. The communication between the quarterback receivers needs to definitely be fixed. You are seeing Coleman there at the end of the game on that offensive line. Now he's playing defensive line, just kind of sit there like, we got to do better.
They will move a guy out of the backfield, spread out wide to the left side of the field for the Mavericks as their senior under center is Ingles, and then blitzing through. Big time tackle by Roseburg in the backfield. Coming up with the tackle for loss is Dylan Bradfield. And Bradfield, a big boy up there, just a junior, he comes up with a nice tackle for loss.
He's pumped, guys. You can tell he loves being a lineman on the high school football team. 2 huge hits tonight.
It's a loss of 3 on the carry. I want to say that might have been Sam Villadal out there, a freshman. And so they'll set up second down and goal from the 11. They'll pitch it back to him. Same ball carrier as before, gets to the 10-yard line. And the ball carrier again is Villadal, and the freshman will pick up the 1 yard out of the 3 that he lost.
Even though it's 28-0 right now, this defense still is not giving up. I mean, they brought it down to third down. They were already inside the red zone. They are not letting them move the ball at all right now. You're 3rd and goal.
So it'll set up 3rd and goal from the 10. And for Mountainside, they'll pass left side, one-on-one coverage, jump ball, catch made, and Bowe. He had the interception and now gets the touchdown. A penalty flag is out.
Yeah, guys, I think that's either going to be celebration or the other item of emphasis last couple of years is language. The officials visit every team and they tell them no cuss words.
Yeah, I think that's going to be unsportsmanlike conduct on number 11 for Mountainside there. After he caught the ball, you saw him kind of jawing a little bit, shaking his head. It's going to be a dead ball, unsportsmanlike, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
So if that goes against the offense, it will come after the touchdown, which should still count, I would imagine.
Yeah, the touchdown, it should be a dead ball. And he did motion that it was a penalty against Mountainside there, and he's asking Heiberger what they want to do.
Right. Now, you guys are talking about areas of optimism as we're in the fourth quarter of this game. Mountainside looking really strong right now. Roseburg's defense, yes, they have some struggles, but they're getting stops. And I think if you give the offense time, especially their quarterback play, and protect that quarterback a little bit better, I think you're going to see a cleaner Roseburg performance in the weeks ahead.
So the kick is good. The touchdown pass goes to Bo from 10 yards out. And then the kick is good by Phillips. And it is now 35-0. Let's take a 30-second break, and we will come back here from Beaverton at Mountainside High School on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. When you get a chance. Dealing with a little bit of technical issues. Back on the video stream, working to get back on the radio. A big return out of Roseburg, as I believe it's Hodges brings it out to the 47-yard line on a kickoff return after the touchdown scored by Mountainside. I knew I'd do that once tonight. 35-0 is our score here in the fourth quarter.
And apologies to the audience, but I think it speaks to the grit of small town sports radio across Oregon. You know, this is not a $1 million budget we're working with here, and we're still able to bring the game to you.
Out to the 47, the mercy rule has been put into effect. 35 points or more in the second half, you'll get a running clock. So Roseburg is at that point with the 35-point advantage. Running up the middle, Caden Eckel will weave his way through traffic, and we might be starting to see a couple of second-string guys getting out there for the Mountainside defense. We saw some second-string guys on the offense for Mountainside, and so I'd imagine they're starting to get that out there as well. But Roseburg will continue to work through the offense. A pickup, nice yardage out to the 45 on the other half of the ball, or of the field for Roseburg. And they will hand it off to Eckel again, and he'll pick up the first down.
And right now, I think that if I'm Roseburg, if I'm Dave Heiberger, I take Eckel out of the game. We know what Eckel can do. Don't risk any more injuries with him, but work on that quarterback receiver passing combination.
Yes.
I wouldn't worry about running the ball anymore. Let's see if we can get those receivers. I would not pull them out of the game at all. I would just start working with them right now. See if they can run those routes correctly and get some of that timing down in a game situation.
Imagine if during a pop quiz, the teacher stopped everything and said, okay, let's practice something really quick. That's the opportunity these boys have in front of them right now. Don't worry about the score. Don't worry about the game. You are totally right, Josh. This is an opportunity to work on that quarterback-receiver chemistry, on some of the protection schemes for that quarterback, and work on that Roseburg offense to take something that has struggled to move the ball tonight and turn it into something that can score some points once they get into a very difficult league schedule.
Again, apologies on the radio side. Struggling to keep the internet connection for some reason on that, but hopefully we'll be good to go the rest of the way. 35-0 is our score. 8:44 to go in the fourth quarter. Roseburg down, and the Mercy running clock has been put in play. Running the ball right side, started out left, bounces it back out to the right side of the field, and running strong is Boston Williams, and the senior will get a nice carry to move the chains again. A couple of first downs for Roseburg here as they try to get some points on the board.
And it looks like that's kind of what he's trying to do. Take the ball out of Eckel's hand, open it up a little bit. I'd also maybe change out some of your bigger guys on the offensive line. Get a secondary offensive line in there in case one of those big guys go down later this year.
They give it to Eckel. He will continue to run here. He slips through a tackle and will stretch out to the 15-yard line. Will pick up 4 on the carry. I mean, you don't want to see anybody get banged up in, unfortunately, garbage time here. But also Roseburg doesn't want to get shut out, so I think they're fighting a couple of different battles there, but they will continue to run through it. And also they're trying to just get better on offense. They've obviously needed it here tonight, so these are game reps are always big. Fake the handoff, pass near side. It's behind the intended receiver out there. That is Caden Austin, a sophomore who was the intended target, and it goes behind him. Couldn't get back around to it.
And I don't feel like that route was ran correctly either, because you have your blocker right there, and then you're coming up to catch the ball at the exact same spot that the blocker's there.
And I think that's the kind of play that Dave Heiberger just braces a little bit, because that's a bread and butter staple of this offense. They want to get the receivers the ball out in space with motion, but this team needs chemistry to get that down.
3rd down and 5. Roseburg back to the line of scrimmage. A play that had a lot of yardage behind the line of scrimmage. They get it just across the line for a pickup of about 1. And carrying the ball, Bentia there. 6:50 to go. It'll be 4th down and about 4 for Roseburg. And the offense will stay on the field as they get to the 14. Bentia in shotgun with Eckel to his left. Rolling to his left, looking downfield, squares up, throws over the middle, and off the hands of Boston Williams. Incomplete, turnover on downs. And I think there's a couple of things about that play probably, but throwing late, back across your body, over the middle.
Yes.
I think every quarterback of all time knows that's not a great idea.
No, and your feet not planted. There, you add that one. He was in the air when he threw that ball. So, yeah, you absolutely don't want to do that. It's a great stop there by the Mountainside defense, not allowing Roseburg to score on that play. At this point now, I think if I'm Mountainside, I'm going to run the ball. I'm going to run this clock out. Well, the clock's all still running no matter what now, but if I'm Mountainside, I'm just going to run the ball, take my time to get there and get this game over with.
Without a doubt. Now, I will commend Roseburg on that last play. I think it's another example of their toughness. Look back at the diving effort made by Bennett Williams. Boston Williams, excuse me.
Low snap picked up by starting quarterback Alex Engels, hands it off, and Roseburg's defense swarms to the football. And look, we're trying to find superlatives to talk about of this game for Roseburg in a game that has gotten away from them. There's a big one with a tackle for loss back to the 10, a loss of 4 for Villadal. But one thing there, swarming to the ball, you still got starters on the field for Roseburg, but these are guys that, look, what shows up on tape? Hustle, attitude, swarming to the football when you're down by 35 and got a running clock.
Yes.
These are things that continue to earn you playing time going forward.
They're still playing this ball game as if they have a chance to win this game. They haven't given up. Their heads aren't down. They may be winded, but they're still playing this ball game as if they haven't lost this game.
Handoff going right side, and again, Roseburg stuffing things at the line.
They blew that one to smithereens.
Yeah, they did. Back to the 7-yard line, I think. They'll put it at the 8, it looks like. It'll be another tackle for loss, and that'll be a loss of 2.
How often do you see a 3-man line where all 3 guys penetrate like that?
You don't see it very often at all. In high school football, in college football, NFL football, you don't see it very often.
Tiger Black is going to be one to continue to watch up there, but he's got some friends up there that have been really big-time issues as well. They're going to run right back at the teeth of that defense, and I think you guys were saying it right, that this Mountain View team, knowing they got a running clock, now down under 4 minutes to play in this one, they're just looking to try and run the ball, run out this clock, and let Roseburg go home and not feel too, not try to rub it in here late in this game.
No, they're going to punt the ball right now and give Roseburg maybe one more chance to get a score on the board.
And Joey, if you say Mountain View one more time, I'm going to make you take some push-ups.
Did I say it again?
We're on the other side of the Cascade.
I keep thinking the same thing all night long, and that's why I'm stopping there trying to.
This school's still only 5 years old. To get to 10 years, and maybe I'll start to learn your name. No, I'm sorry. I have no reason to talk like that. Punt coming. The punt away. Eccles deep to return this one. Will knock it down. Gets it at the 50. Will spin forward across the 50 to the 46-yard line where he gets taken down. And Roseburg will have it on Mountainside of the field. Whistles are blowing. They do not stop the clock as they switch it. The clock only stops for injuries pretty much and scores.
And I hope you know I'm just poking some light fun at you. Like, for me, the school that still trips me up, Ida B. Wells, I always want to say Wilson, and McDaniel up in the city, I want to say Madison.
Well, see, you're good enough to remember what their names used to be, and I'm not, so there's that for you. If you want to feel better about yourself, I would call them exactly what's on the piece of paper because I'd have to look it up and go, wait, what school was this again? Madison is a school I almost went to back in the day as well. But, some changes, new schools, new names, and, that mixes things up. Penalty flag out against Roseburg at the end of the return.
I never saw the laundry on the field. I kept looking after the whistle. I never saw the laundry on the field. I will give them this, though, for the referees tonight. They've let them play mainly tonight on both sides of the ball.
Yes.
Not a whole lot of laundry on the field. That is really annoying when you're trying to broadcast a game and it just slowed down because the referees keep throwing flags all over the place.
15-yard penalty for Roseburg at that end of that one. Bentia will hand it off, and it is once again Williams running the ball. He will pick up 1 to the 40.
And I think it's grading on a curve, kind of, right? This is the first game of the year. These kids are still getting a feel for how to play at their best. As an official, I don't want to overly penalize these teams. I want to let them play and figure it out on their own.
Oh, absolutely. If I was an official, I'd look at it that way. I think the last year, though, opening game, there was a lot of laundry on the field.
Student body left, heading to the exits to get ready to head out onto the field to celebrate an opening win for Mountainside. Pass as he dances in the pocket. Bentia, nice job there. He felt the pocket, was able to move within it, didn't try to escape immediately, stayed in and throws and connects with his receiver out to the 45-yard line. And that'll be a pickup of 5 for Bentia.
I like how even though we're so far into this game now, we only got 48 seconds left, that Coach Heiberger's still sticking with his game plan, though.
Bentia hands it off, running right side, slipping through, getting right to the line to gain out to the 50 as we're down to 35 seconds to go. It'll be a first down for Roseburg after some hard running there. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Roseburg. New man in the backfield. I believe that is Nick Parrish back there with that carry. They'll run it again as we're down to 12 seconds. Parrish again on the carry. So he had picked up 5, picks up another to the 46. He'll pick up 4 there. And we are going to wrap this one up. There is triple zeros on the clock. And this one comes to an end. Roseburg shut out 35-0 here in tonight's ball game. Mountainside with a win. Roseburg will go to 0-1 on the year. Mountainside goes to 1-0. A lot to try and take away from tonight's ball game for the Tribe, and for Mountainside, obviously they'll look at the tape and try to improve on it as well, but they will have at least a smile on their face as they watch them go to an opening victory. Final score again, 35-0. We'll come back with your post-game show. Want to let you know real quick, tonight's game's been brought to you by Roseburg Honda. Buying a car can be a hassle, but at Roseburg Honda, it's different. Customer satisfaction is their highest priority. Visit Roseburg Honda, where they treat you like family because they are family. And by Barnes Heating and Cooling, your complete energy company. Visit barnesheatingandcooling.com or call them at 541-459-1545. Fireworks going off. A season opening win for the Mavericks. We'll talk more about it when we come back with the postgame show after this timeout on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Deciding where to purchase your next vehicle is just as important as the vehicle itself. At Roseburg Honda, our seasoned staff is dedicated to matching you with the right car. From sales to service, our goal is to make sure all of your needs are met, and you leave our dealership feeling good every time you visit. No need to waste your valuable time driving up and down the freeway when the ultimate car buying experience is right here at home. Roseburg Honda. We treat you like family.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Didn't make you do any of it.
I wouldn't have left Gold Beach, man. If I were there on a day like this.
I did not want to,
I love
believe
Gold
me.
Beach.
Heather's like, you don't have to go. I said, I made a commitment. But I caught a lot of salmon.
I love the brewery down there. The pizza place is great, too. And
we are back here at Mountainside High School in Beaverton, Oregon, as tonight the Mavericks will hand Roseburg a 35-0 loss to start out the season. The Mavericks will go to 1-0 on the year, and Roseburg will fall to 0-1. Tonight's game has been sponsored by Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair. Are you ready to go where life takes you? By Western Oregon Jewelers. And by Dr. Alanson Randall, open and accepting new patients, so give them a call at 541-378-6694. Stick around here in the postgame show. We will name our Mountain Mike's Pizza Player of the Game. That'll be coming up here in just a little bit. That Player of the Game will be awarded a $25 gift certificate to use at Mountain Mike's Pizza there on West Harvard Avenue by Roseburg High School and the 124 interchange with I-5. All right, taking a look back at the scoring from tonight's ball game. It started out slow for both teams. A lot of punts early on, a turnover on the first possession by Roseburg, but then Mountainside punted it right back to the Tribe. So Roseburg got it back. Both teams exchanged punts after that, and the first score on the board came in the first quarter. It was a 16-yard run by Mountainside. It was Salbeda that rushes in for the touchdown. Ian Salbeda from 16 yards out made it 7-0. Our score was 21-0 at halftime as Mountainside adds two more touchdowns in the second quarter. A 1-yard quarterback run up the middle for a touchdown. Alex Ingalls with his first score made it 14-0. And then Ingalls connects with Quinn O'Connor for a 44-yard touchdown strike before the break to make it 21-0 at halftime. The kicks in that first half all made by Holden Phillips. He was perfect on the night. They would add another PAT in the third quarter. Just before the end of the third quarter, with 16 seconds to go, touchdown on a 3-yard run by Aaron Simpson. Gets his first run, first score of the season, makes it 28-0. And then they hit that mercy rule, running clock rule with the touchdown in the fourth quarter. It was Ingalls, his second passing touchdown of the night, and his third touchdown overall. He connects this time with Braden Bowe, and it was from, that one was from 10 yards out for the score to make it 35-0. So that was your scoring here tonight and how things played out. Taking a quick look at your unofficial stats tonight, 41 yards through the air with 2 interceptions for Owen Bentia in his debut. On the ground, Caden Eckel finishes with 22 carries for 79 yards to lead the way for Roseburg. Leading receiver was Jordan White with 31 yards on 4 catches. On the other side for Alex Ingalls, he finishes with 121 yards through the air. And actually, that's not right. At least 131 yards through the air. He had 2 touchdowns and an interception. On the ground, Aaron Simpson, the leading rusher, with 111 yards. He has the touchdown. Touchdowns also for Ingalls and Sal Beta. Leading receiver was Quinn O'Connor with 77 yards and a score. On the other, that is look at the numbers here tonight as we wrap this one up. Just kind of, guys, thoughts on what we saw from both teams tonight. Mountainside, I think a team that shows some promise. They've got pieces. They've got some skill. Some of their new guys broke in nicely, and their junior quarterback getting his first time starting out there tonight. He looked pretty sharp, and he was able to command that offense, move pretty well. Roseburg on the other side, I think we just see some growing pains early from this Roseburg team that hopefully they're able to learn quickly as this season moves on.
I really feel like if you looked at Roseburg and Mountainside, I think they're the exact same teams. One's just more they have it all together right now. They ran kind of the same scheme: run, screen, deep pass, run, screen, deep pass. That was the game plan for Coach Heiberger. It wasn't executed. It did not work for Roseburg, and it happened to work for Mountainside. But if you looked offensively, they were running the same game plan pretty much the entire game. One executed well, one did not. Looking forward for Mountain View, I think that if they can execute, they'll do a great job going in throughout the rest of the season. They have a lot of speed out there with their running back and their receivers, and the connection with their quarterback, their junior quarterback. It looked very strong for them. As for Roseburg, just execution, like I said at halftime. If you execute on half those plays and you pick up 2 or 3 yards on the first and second down, that opens up a whole lot coming into third down, and you saw it only one time tonight where that third down play, they were able to run that deep ball like I said they were going to. After they ran the ball, they got the screen, and then the deep ball opened up.
I strongly agree. And when you point out the comparison between this Mountainside team and this Roseburg team, I'm reminded of what coaches look for when they schedule opponents in the offseason. You either want to face a team in September, you either want to face a team that is polar opposite from you. So if you're running the spread, you want to play an option team, right? If you're a man defense, you want to face a team that's going to really challenge that. You want to face a team that's going to throw some exotic coverages at you, right? That's one approach. The other approach is, I think, the one that Coach Heiberger took in picking this matchup with Mountainside. This is a team that is more experienced than Roseburg from a personnel standpoint, but tactically, they are identical to Roseburg. They want to run the ball inside, then they want to feed the run game outside with misdirection and motion. They're going to have a bevy of screen passes in the passing game, and then they might sprinkle in a deep shot or two. If you're Roseburg and you've practiced that way and against that way all summer, this offers a reinforcement of everything that you've worked on so far leading up to tonight, and it's only going to make you better. I think about something that former head coach of the Ducks, Mario Cristobal, would often say: iron sharpens iron. I think that's what both sides wanted to accomplish tonight.
Well, we'll see how it works out going forward. Roseburg will have a few days between now and their next contest coming up next Friday night. Home opener as they welcome in the Nelson Hawks for their first game. We'll have our Mountain Mike's Pizza Player of the game coming up in just a moment. But, Josh, did you have some scores to try and pass along from what we've been seeing tonight?
So I got some finals right now. I'm going to only do the finals that we got. I gave the other ones at halftime. So right now, St. Mary's beat Sutherland 35-6. South Umpqua, there was a minute left in the ball game, it looked like, when I got the score update. But South Umpqua was up 50-0 against Phoenix.
Wow.
And then in our conference, I want to say Southwest Conference, but we don't exist anymore. But Sheldon destroyed Glencoe 56-0.
It's a mega conference now.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It's
Southwest.
I think at one point I saw it listed as the Southwest Valley Conference because you're combining the Central Valley Conference and the Southwest Conference.
All right, Southwest Valley Conference. I like
Right.
that. We can name it that all
Sure.
season.
I think of it as the Big Ten of the USAA.
Well, we start wrapping things up here. We're going to try and get out of here quickly as they start cleaning up things here at the ballpark, but it is time to name our Mountain Mike's Pizza Player of the Game. And, guys, I was looking at some thoughts. I had a name in mind. I'm now curious what Josh is thinking because he had quite the reaction.
Well, I had several names in mind. I mean, one sticks out, obviously, is Eckel. He led that offense. He carried that offense, stuff like that. But really, I think the best play that we saw all night long was on the offensive and defensive lines.
Yes.
And then most of the guys on those offensive and defensive lines play both ways the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so was there a name sticking out to you?
The entire offensive and defensive lines. I think that they
I
did a
can't
great
give them
job.
all $25 gift certificates to Mountain Mike's Pizza. They were gracious enough to give us one for every game this season, so I'm going to I'm thinking about one. Matt, you seem to have something to chime in as well.
I am so relieved that Josh took that bullet for me because I was going to say, I was going to totally cop out and say my two favorite plays of the night were the 4th down stop at the goal line, 4 straight wall stops at the 1. Kudos to the whole D line. And then the turnover, an interception on the following drive, largely caused by pressure, that defensive line disrupting in the backfield. I know it's easy to just give this to one kid, and we could talk about what Mr. Bradfield did today, or we could point out Tiger Black made a couple of nice tackles, but this whole D line, not just one kid, not just 2 kids, it was a unit, and the unit made some nice plays that aren't going to show up on this scoreboard.
Absolutely, and I think that if we go down, if we have to name one kid off that defensive line or offensive line or whatever else, I have to go with Black on the inside because most of those runs on that 4th down stop were on the inside. He's the leader on that inside, on that defensive line. Not only that, the way he punted the ball tonight, the flop, I mean, all of it all the way around. I think Tiger Black is who I would pick.
You got to put the flop in context, though. Like, if you say that, people are going to go, oh, my gosh, he flopped.
You guys just want to bring the gear down to Roseburg on Friday night next week, and I'll meet you then. Well, by then maybe they'll figure out who the player of the game is, I think. Didn't expect as much dialogue about that as we got there, but I agree with both of you. And I did pick a lineman for the player of the game in my head. It is not a name that either of you mentioned in your process, but it was a name you both mentioned tonight. That the reason I brought it up was because we don't often hear offensive and defensive linemen brought up consistently, and a name that came up a lot was James Coleman. The senior offensive lineman, center, also defensive lineman, came up with a lot of big pressures in the backfield, a lot of big stops. I think he had the first tackle for loss in the game for Roseburg on the defensive line. Guys like Caden Eckel and Tiger Black are probably going to get their player of the games later. This is the other thing that you have to judiciously do as the guy that selects this award is to try and spread it out a little bit so that it's not always Caden Eckel or Colton Marsters or the guy that racks up all the touchdowns and yardage. And James Coleman tonight is your Mountain Mike's Pizza Player of the Game. Great dialogue, great input. I'm still going with who I had
I
originally.
agree with that one, too. If I'm going with the defensive line on the outside, Coleman did a great job sealing the outside all night long. He gave it from the beginning of the game to the end of the game. You even watch him on the last couple plays on that defense when Mountain View was out there. Mountainside was out there. Now I did it, now that you said Mountain View. But you sit there and watch him, and he didn't give up the entire game. I also agree with that one. That was the very next guy that I would have gone with as well.
And I think that speaks to the toughness that we saw all night long, regardless of score. 4 quarters to the final whistle. Roseburg doesn't get the result they want, but this team plays tough, boys. They're a football team, and I really do have faith they are going to rack up wins as this season progresses.
All right. Well, that'll pretty much do it for us here tonight as we wrap things up on the season opener from Beaverton at Mountainside High School, where Roseburg tonight falls 35-0 against the Mavericks. They'll try to lick their wounds, head back home, get geared up for a game next week as they welcome in another program that's still in its infancy but has a 1-0 record. The Adrian Nelson Hawks are coming to Finlay Field next Friday night. It'll be a 7 o'clock kickoff for that one, and we'll have coverage for you here on The Score. All right, as we wrap it up here, folks, want to send out our thank yous. Again, Mountain Mike's Pizza Player of the Game. If you are confused on who it was James Coleman, as we get that all wrapped up there. And that is Mountain Mike's Pizza, the way it ought to be. I want to say thanks to the Mountainside Mavericks for welcoming us in for the season opener. They said with open arms, come on in. We'd love to have you. And it sounds like they even left free pizza. What did I say earlier? Free pizza is the best thing in the world.
A whole pizza
They
for you guys.
They left us a pizza down there, so we'll take that. Want to say thanks to Mountainside. Thanks to Roseburg head coach Dave Heiberger, athletic director Russ Bullen, and thanks to everybody involved with Roseburg football for allowing us to bring you another season of Roseburg football here on The Score. Want to say thanks to the guys helping out tonight. Matt Bagley on the video camera, Josh Nelson on the video production, and both of them providing some analysis tonight. As always, a thanks to you, the fan, for tuning in for tonight's broadcast. I did forget somebody, so before I jump ahead to that, back in the studio, Grady Hamilton doing the hard work on the radio production here this evening. Appreciate him. And now, thanks to you, the fan, for tuning in for tonight's broadcast, because, of course, without you, I'm just a guy sitting here talking to myself. I'm Joey Keyran. We will catch up with you guys next Friday night as 7 o'clock kickoff as Roseburg hosts Nelson for Game 2 of the season. The Indians will try to get into the win column coming up next Friday night at 7 o'clock. We'll have coverage for you, streaming live online at 541radio.com, presented by the Cow Creek Tribe, or you can always find Roseburg football right here on Douglas County's home for sports, The Score, 92.3 FM at 1490 AM.